This episode is supported by FX's The Shards, a seductive drama from executive producer Ryan Murphy. Set in 1980s Los Angeles, the series follows a group of glamorous, deeply entangled high school seniors drawn to a life of wealth, beauty, parties, and excess. At its center is Brett, whose reality begins to unravel when the arrival of a new student coincides with a series of mysterious murders. FX's The Shards premieres August 5th on FX and Hulu. These long dog days of summer, we just made it through a heat wave. Mama was parched through this heat wave. I was hitting up Dunkin' every single day, and I will continue to, probably for the rest of my days, but especially this summer. Dunkin' is helping everyone stay cool this summer with its lineup of refreshers. These drinks are packed with bold, fruity flavors and served ice cold. It's amazing. Dunkin' refreshers are the perfect afternoon pick-me-up. I like to start my morning with them personally, and then sometimes I go back for a second one because I'm just feeling crazy. They come in a variety of delicious flavors, including fan favorites mango pineapple and strawberry dragon fruit. And then for a limited time, there's black cherry and there's pink pineapple. I'm going to tell you something right now, and it's a bold claim, let me tell you, but I stand behind it. Pink pineapple will change your life. It is so good. It has me feeling like I'm sitting in a pool, resort side, just living, honey. It's so yummy. Try your favorite flavor with green tea, sparkling water, lemonade, or Dunkin's all-new limeade. I haven't tried the limeade yet, but I'm going to. Usually I get my drinks made with green tea and occasionally lemonade, but I do really like the green tea. Or if you don't want to build your own, try one of Dunkin's curated refreshers like the Cherry Lime Ricky or the Ultimate Pink Daydream. The Cherry Lime Ricky, scrumptious. I could drink like 3 of these a day. They're so freaking yummy. Head to Dunkin' today and find your favorite refresher. Dunkin' refreshers contain less than 1% fruit juice. Limited time offer. Every good detective needs a partner to support them on important cases. Think of a State Farm agent like your sidekick, there to help you along the way in your search for coverage. State Farm can help you choose the coverage you need, whether it's for your home, car, boat, or even RV. With so many options, it's nice knowing you have help finding what fits for you so you can get back to solving all of life's bigger cases. Go to statefarm.com or use the award-winning app to connect with a local agent and get a quote. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey weirdos, I'm Ash.
And I'm Elena.
And this is Morbid.
This is indeed very morbid today.
Yeah. Elena has been sifting through discovery documents for the last 6 hours.
Yeah. I did it all night last night too.
Yeah.
And I had weird dreams because of it.
I didn't even sift through discovery documents. I just knew that we were doing this case, so I was kind of like watching on, obviously, this is the Chris Watts case because you've clicked on it.
Yeah, part 1 of the Chris Watts case.
Part 1. We watched some of the paranormal stuff that goes along with this case.
Yes.
And there was one thing in that video that I couldn't stop thinking about last night. I woke up like multiple times throughout the night last night.
Yeah. See, and I went through it a little bit. We'll talk about it in part 2, the paranormal aspects of it, because there is some strange ones. But I was like more going into like the interviews like before he admitted to what he did. And that shit'll fuck you up.
Oh, yeah.
And just looking at those discovery documents, which we'll link in the show notes, you can all look at them. You can all look at every goddamn text that was sent between him and Shanann, between him and his mistress, Nicole. There's
a lot to be seen.
There's a lot to be seen and a lot of just complete lack of humanity on his part, which is really upsetting to see.
Yeah.
I always swore I wasn't going to do this case because the details are very upsetting, but I know you guys really want this case.
This is one of our most highly requested cases.
And I'm doing this for you. I also knew this was going to be one of those cases that just ate me up.
Yeah.
Like that I could not stop getting deeper and deeper into, and that has happened.
Yeah.
So I'm going to look forward to disconnect. This is like the Morse murders case for me, where it's like I'm really looking forward to the end of it where I can say bye.
Yeah.
Because, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what we'll be doing today. But before we get to that, before we get to all the horror and terrible shit, if you haven't gotten your tickets to the live show in June, June 27th,
June
New York
27th,
City,
honey.
Radio City Music Hall.
We're going to be there.
It's going to be big.
It's going to be huge.
And there's only so many tickets left. We're getting to that end point. And
Honey.
I want you guys to come and have fun because it's one night only. We got a cool theme in mind. We have cool fucking merch.
We just had a whole meeting about the merch, and
did.
it's fucking killer.
This merch is going to be killer. I'm really, and it's only going to be at the show.
Only at the show. You can only get
Make
it there.
sure you get your tickets. It's going to be fun. I promise you.
We also booked a sick guest.
Yeah, we got a special guest.
We have a
so that's
special
gonna
guest
be
that's going to
fun.
blow your goddamn socks off.
It's true. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So
Yay.
do it. And if you haven't pre-ordered The Butcher Legacy yet, what are you doing?
Honey. Oh, and if you're looking for more signed copies.
Oh, yeah, there's still more.
Few people are.
Yeah, because I know you guys were looking for them, and I told you I'll keep signing them as long as my hand works.
It's on.
So
I
as
see
long
it.
as my hand is on my body, I'll keep signing them for you, as long as you want them. And so you can get them at Premier Collectibles. There's some signed ones, and I promise you, I'm signing them right here.
Yes, I watch
with my
it
hand
every day.
each one. So
And
that's
I always say, wow, that's a lot of signing going on.
I always say, wow.
I always say, wow, honey.
But just to be clear, because I know some people are like, do you really sign them?
Are those mass-produced?
I really
No.
do. There will never be a mass-produced signature of mine, so
I feel like you'd also like be able to tell, but
Yeah,
who am
that'd be
I?
insane. But yeah. So
Anyway.
enjoy that and pre-order it if you want, and you should. It's fun. And now we're gonna get into this. I'm gonna try not to get too worked up here.
Good luck with
Yesterday I was so worked up, and I was just talking to everybody in the room about
I'm going to
it.
feel worked up because I felt worked up about
Yeah.
I don't know like all of the ins and outs of this case. I avoided it a lot because
You probably don't want to.
obviously children are involved, so
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'll get outraged right along with you.
Yeah. And everything is going to be, I mean, everything's right in that discovery document that's available for you to take a peek through. It's very long, obviously, but it's all there.
Yeah.
So this is all the official shit. Now, let's start with who Chris Watts is,
Do
unfortunately.
we have to?
I think we have to.
Because you got to know like who
unfortunately.
this fucker is.
You got to know who this piece of shit is. So he was born May 16th, 1985. Hate that he was born in the same year as me.
I know. Taurus, too.
Not
I
great.
usually love a Taurus.
Yeah, not this one.
No.
Not this one. He was born in Fayetteville, North Carolina. He was the second to two children, born to Ronnie and Cindy Watts, who I have so many feelings about, but I'm not going to spill all of them.
Keep it quiet.
But you can
Feelings
take
are
from that
feelings.
what you will. That's just feelings, you know.
Just a feeling.
Growing up, he was very close to his dad. They shared a love of sports and cars, like, you know, that kind of thing.
Dude stuff.
Very just
Dude bros.
sports and cars. Just all right. But Chris's relationship with his father was built on more than just these shared interests. They had very similar personalities, and you can see even now that they still, like, not the murderous personality, obviously, but
course
I mean, like, he's a very quiet, like, subdued guy for the most part. And his dad seems a little bit like that as well. So I think what everybody said around them was that Chris felt like he was understood by his dad because they were kind of the same. He was like an average student. He was a good athlete. I fucking hate him. But
Yeah.
He didn't do anything remarkable. Like,
I wouldn't think so.
nothing to write home about. He was super shy, so he didn't really like stand out in any way, and he just kind of flew under the radar because he was a fucking loser.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be so mean
He killed his
about him.
children,
I just
so I
need
think
you
that's
to know
valid.
that. If you are one of those girls who like writes to him in prison or
You're gonna
thinks
wanna
he's
turn this
hot,
off.
you're gonna want to turn this off, and you're gonna want to go seek some real help because
Guidance.
this man, after reading more and more about him, I think is one of the biggest pieces of shit I have ever come across in my entire existence of research.
If you can kill your own three
Yeah.
children, one of which was unborn, and your
Yeah.
own wife while pregnant with one of those children, there's not a good bone in your... There's nothing good about you.
No.
And there never was.
And the details of it all are just beyond human comprehension. And how he reacted to all this should horrify you to your very fucking core. It really should.
Yeah.
But when he got to high school, he had become pretty withdrawn. Like, he was always very quiet and withdrawn. And it wasn't like something happened that is on record that made this happen. He just was always like that.
That's weird.
And he was kind of aloof as a teenager. He was kind of aloof as an adult too. He didn't give a fuck about anything. As evidenced by his interview when his family was quote unquote missing. And don't worry, we'll get into that. His sister Jamie said he didn't go out with friends. I was more of a social butterfly, and he was quiet and interested in mechanics and cars. He was just a focused person. And I think that just means like he was a piece of shit in the making.
Yeah, perhaps.
It wasn't until he enrolled in an automotive technology class that he started to find like some kind of confidence. His love of cars and his deep knowledge of NASCAR impressed the teacher of the class, Joe Duty, and it's D-U-T-Y.
Okay.
To stifle all of your giggles. He took Chris under his wing and kind of became like a mentor to him. The teacher said it's hard to find a more perfect kid. I'd argue it's not.
It'd be super easy, I think.
That's me. But he said he was in the top 10% of students I ever had. And that was in the automotive technology class, not in the school.
Okay.
Don't want to give him any undue accolades
Yeah,
here.
don't be doing that.
Also, the teacher, Mr. Duty, said he could see that Chris struggled socially, and he had very few friends at the time. That kind of remained something through his life. As you'll see, not too many people were willing to go to bat for Mr. Watts here.
Good.
Throughout his life. So I think mom and dad were really his like number one people who were going to go bat for him.
Great.
So the teacher said many times I would look at him and think, what's going on in his head?
Oh.
It was like the wheels were spinning, but he was by himself.
That's a loaded question.
And I said, whew, you don't want to know what's going on in his head.
Yeah. I wonder what was going on in his head even back then.
Probably a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah.
Honestly, he seems like one of those dudes. If you watch any interview with him, he's like one of those guys that if you like blew wind through his ear, it would like come out the other side.
Yikes.
Like just freely. Like he just nothing
Lights are
happening.
on, no one's home.
Yeah. Like just not a lot going on. Now, after graduating from high school, his passion for cars led him to enroll at the NASCAR Technical Institute in Mooresville, North Carolina. It was a NASCAR-sponsored program that specialized in motorsports and, like, automotive training.
Cars.
Just cars. He also found a part-time job working at a car dealership.
Cars.
Because cars. And when he wasn't in class or at work, he was using his free time to study cars.
Cars.
So
You have to cars.
Cars.
You have to say it like Andy Belfleur from
Yes,
True Blood.
from True Blood. I don't know if you're picking up on something here. All he cared about was cars. That's all he had. That's all he had.
He had 3 looks.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Just
cars, and cars.
Cars.
NASCAR, car school, and a dealership.
That's it. Fucking loser. His former roommate, Richard Hodges, said he was very dedicated to his work on cars and wasn't the kind of guy that went out and partied because he was too busy with cars. But he eventually finished the NASCAR program and started a full-time job as a mechanic. It wasn't exactly the exciting career in NASCAR that he thought he was going to be going forth with.
Well, he's mediocre, so.
But he made decent money. He enjoyed the work, says, because he loves a car. So he didn't complain, and he just kind of like thought he would move up someday, which is how you should go into something like that. You start at the bottom.
Yeah.
You work your way up. Around this same time, he surprised everyone by starting his first romantic relationship.
With a car?
I would have thought so.
With a car?
But no, unfortunately, even the cars were like, no, thank you, sir. This is how weird he was.
That everybody was like, wait, what?
By all accounts, like, I wasn't there. I don't know this man. But by all accounts, this is how, like, off-put, like, a little aloof and just, like, shy and not, and, like, withdrawn he was. That everyone was like, you're going out with a girl? Like, what? Another human?
Like,
are you
that's
sure?
nuts.
Like, another human and you are going to hang out? Like, that's how off he was.
That's bleak.
But yeah, he started his first romantic relationship, and the woman Chris was dating had just come out of a bad marriage. And he never brought her around to meet his family or his coworkers or his friends. So
she existed, though?
I guess she existed. Chris later said, I was helping her to get through her divorce, and then she went off with someone else.
Oh.
And I said, that checks.
Okay.
Also, I'd like to point out right now, so you do know what divorce is.
Yep.
So you have seen
the
divorce,
basis of divorce.
Because Chris Watts, why the fuck didn't you just divorce your wife? I will never understand this as long as I live.
There's so many cases.
You did know what a divorce was.
There's so many cases where it's like, why did you not
pisses me
just
off.
separate and divorce?
Truly. truly.
Obviously, it's like, I know it's complicated. I
realize
know
that,
there's
yeah.
money.
Like, you don't need to
don't
explain
it
to
to
us
us.
that we know what
that
divorce
it's
is.
tough. I'm a child of
Yeah.
divorce. I get it. It sucks for like 18 whole years.
But it's a hell of a lot better than murdering your pregnant wife and your 2 children, I would say.
Yep.
I know it's tough.
I will
but it's not that tough.
I will stand 12 toes down on that.
That it's better than murder. It's better than family annihilation.
Yep.
And I think if you can't agree on that, it's a problem.
Yeah.
But between his failure to land the job of his dreams and the messy end to his first real relationship, he was feeling discouraged and he wasn't really like psyched to go date again because he was like, I got her through this divorce, and then she just kind of went off with someone else.
And she's not a car.
But his cousin Cindy, not to be confused with his mama Cindy, was able to convince Chris to send a Facebook friend request to one of her coworkers named Shanann. And her maiden name, I believe it's pronounced Zuchek.
Okay.
I looked it up many, many times. But obviously for the rest, most of the story, unfortunately goes by Shanann Watts.
Okay.
Like Chris, Shanann was also just coming off of a bad breakup, and Cindy thought the two of them might hit it off. They have something in common there.
Yeah.
In retrospect, it is a little weird that she thought that they were going to get along because they were kind of like very obvious opposites.
Okay.
And obviously that can work.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what she was thinking.
Maybe.
Chris was very quiet, shy, reserved, withdrawn, like we've said. Shanann was friendly. She was gregarious. She was outgoing. Like she was pizzazz. You know?
Yeah.
Shanann had grown up in New Jersey, but moved to North Carolina in the late 1990s when her father was out of work.
Love. One thing I love is a Jersey girl.
A Jersey transplant.
Fucking love a Jersey girl.
Yeah, we love it. And the move meant a new school for Shanann, and she started attending Pinecrest High School. This was a progressive school with a focus on the arts.
Okay, cool.
In that supportive and collaborative environment, she kind of thrived and really came into her own. She developed a large circle of friends. She excelled socially. She excelled academically. Unlike Chris, who was just a literal nothing and no one would probably remember him,
Yep.
Shanann was like just killing it. She
Hell
was
yeah.
thriving.
Love that.
And she maintained big, close groups of girlfriends, especially her entire life.
Which says so much about
does
somebody.
say a lot about
Like
someone.
I know like some of the details about the way that her friends just rode for her, and that says so much about her.
It cannot be stressed enough how much her friends fucking rode for her.
And loved her.
Like her friends, like we're going to get into it. They are
Next
they're
level.
them and Nate, her neighbor, heroes in
Yep.
this whole situation, in my opinion.
Same.
Okay, so like I think her friends were on it. So again, she developed this huge circle of friends. She was really thriving. Her friend Colby said she was one of the sweetest girls you could ever encounter.
Aw.
In her senior year, she started dating Leonard King, another Pinecrest student. And the relationship moved pretty fast, like faster than anyone expected. Before the end of the school year, they were engaged.
Oh, wow.
And they were discussing like future plans. Colby said she was adamant about starting her life and having a family. And a few months after graduation, they got married.
Wow.
Now, the marriage started out great, but soon the realities of getting married right outside of high school started creeping in.
Yeah.
Which obviously this works for some people, but I don't doubt that there's a ton of extra stressors that come from that because you're not exactly established yet.
Right.
So if you're not meant to be, I don't think it's going
not
to
gonna
work.
work
It's
out.
going to be the thing that kind of pressure tests your relationship. After graduation, Shanann started college and Leonard joined the army. But when their cost of living went up and they couldn't afford life on one single income, Shanann dropped out of school and got a job selling cell phones. Although it wasn't what she wanted for herself at the time, she excelled in sales.
Okay.
Because of her personality.
Right.
And within a few years, she was managing the store.
Wow.
And handling all the administrative duties.
Good for
which
her.
I could
Your
never.
nightmare.
It's my nightmare. I could never. Her success at the cell phone store led to the store's owner to hire her for his new company.
Wow.
This company was called the Dirty South.
Absolutely iconic.
It was an automobile customization company that catered to high-end clientele.
For their cars.
For their cars. If it was possible to identify the point where Leonard and Shanann's marriage kind of started to fall apart, it was probably when she took that job at
Really?
Dirty South. At the time, she was managing the cell phone store and the new business, often traveling the 130 miles between the two in the same day.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
So they were not really seeing a lot of each other. It just wasn't working. They tried couples counseling and various other ways to save their marriage. They did give it a go,
Yeah.
like they did what they could. But by 2007, too much damage had been done and they divorced. Shanann later told a friend, I went through a real awful divorce and that relationship took a lot from me. It literally took everything. I had to start financially all over.
That's brutal.
But Shanann refused to let the experience drag her down. She continued working hard at her job. She enrolled in some night classes at Queen's University, and she started looking for property in Charlotte where she could start building her own dream home.
Nice.
Because she was making money.
Let's go.
Because she was real good at sales.
We love an independent lady.
And she was hustling. A few years later, she signed off on all the mortgage paperwork and started construction on what would be a 4,000 square foot, 12-room home with 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms.
Wow,
that she was
that's
doing
incredible.
on her own.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So the excitement of all this, becoming a homeowner, starting a new life, it was soon offset by long periods where she was feeling really exhausted and kind of unwell.
Oh.
And she was starting to notice it. In 2010, she finally went to see a doctor and she was diagnosed with lupus.
Oh, fuck.
It's an autoimmune disease where the body's immune system attacks its own organs and tissues.
Yeah, lupus is no joke.
Lupus sucks. She later said, when they diagnosed me with lupus, I was lost.
Oh.
She didn't know what it was or what to expect. So, of course, she did what any of us would do. She went to the internet and tried to search it up. And she was immediately terrified by what she found online.
Yeah.
But it was during this period that Shanann received the friend request from Chris Watts. Having recently come out of a bad marriage, followed by chronic health problems, she wasn't exactly interested in getting to know anyone at this point, regardless of how well her coworker Cindy thought they would get along. So she kind of just ignored it. She was like, no. And it's like, oh, God, I just wish she had forever ignored it.
I know.
But a few months later, when a second message from Chris appeared in her inbox, she figured she might as well give him a chance. And a few weeks later, they met for their first date at the Epicenter, which is an upscale dining and entertainment place in downtown Charlotte.
Okay.
Contrary to what Cindy had told them both, they had very little in common, and they had a complete lack of chemistry on this first
I mean,
date.
from everything you've described about each of them,
Yeah.
I don't see it.
Personally, anything I've seen of him, I'm like, a wet rag has a bigger
Yeah.
personality than he does. Like, I don't blame her for being like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Despite the disappointing evening, though, Chris did manage, he pursued.
Okay.
He managed to convince Shanann to give him another chance, and a few days later, they attended a concert together.
Okay.
He later said, I was persistent trying to pursue her,
Wow.
which does become
A theme.
a thing for
Yep.
him. He becomes obsessed with women. He becomes focused solely on women. We'll see it with his mistress, Nicole. We'll see it with Shanann. We'll see it with later women
he's
that he
in
becomes
prison.
interested in prison. He becomes very obsessive
Yeah.
with somebody because he's a fucking loser.
Probably.
But despite the failure of the previous date, he found himself really drawn to Shanann and was determined to convince her that they were a good match.
If you have to convince somebody
Yeah.
that you're a good match, I'm sorry, you're not.
Yeah. It took some time, but eventually he did win her over. And in a few months, she was very happy with him and she was calling him the man of her dreams.
Wow. So
Yeah.
it sounds like he tried to become what she wanted.
Yeah, like he tried to
Maybe
up
he
his game a
emulated
little
some
bit.
qualities and did some Google searches of how to act.
Yeah, because as we'll see later, he literally has to Google what does someone feel when you tell them you love them?
Yeah.
Because he literally doesn't know.
Yeah.
Because he's not a human being. Like he's a lizard person. It doesn't make any sense. I'm sure he was Googling, what does human boy say to girl? Like
Yeah.
he is not a real thing.
He's like watching like rom-coms and taking notes.
He's scary as hell. And I'm sure that he was able to, because one thing about these scary as hell fucking
They can
lizard
blend.
people who are just empty husks that just look to fill themselves with other people's ideas of
They
emotions.
can blend.
They can manipulate too, and they become for you what you need or want because that's how they want to get you. But deep down, they are not that. So then they can't live up to that fake thing that they've created.
They
for
can't
you.
continue on like
Yeah,
that.
and then it becomes dangerous.
Yes.
So she had no way of knowing
No, of
that
course
this
not.
man is just this empty husk of bullshit that is going to crumble.
This episode is supported by FX's The Shards, a seductive drama from executive producer Ryan Murphy. Set in 1980s Los Angeles, the series follows a group of glamorous, deeply entangled high school seniors drawn to a life of wealth, beauty, parties, and excess. At its center is Brett, whose reality begins to unravel when the arrival of a new student coincides with a series of mysterious murders. FX's The Shards premieres August 5th on FX and Hulu. When it comes to online college, Southern New Hampshire University is so good, it's scary. Listen, the facts don't lie. SNHU has degree programs that fit your goals, online classes that fit your life, and real support at every step. And if that wasn't enough, they've got some of the lowest online tuition rates in the US. This is an airtight case, you guys. Visit snhu.edu/morbid to get started. That's snhu.edu/morbid. Chilling crime cases are mysterious, but finding coverage shouldn't be. With the State Farm Personal Price Plan, you have options and can personalize your plan to help create an affordable price so you can get back to cracking all of life's bigger cases. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can choose to bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Head to statefarm.com to get a quote. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Now, over time, the various ways that they were compatible started to show themselves, which made it a little easier to go down this path of maybe we are meant for each other.
Yeah.
Because managing her lupus meant relying on a lot of medications and attending a lot of doctor's appointments and specialist appointments.
Yeah.
And Shanann was she was a lot of things, but she was never a very well organized person. We all have our,
I'm not either, sister.
Yeah. And Chris's lifelong compulsive hyper-organization, which, it did come in handy here because before long, he would manage her medications for her. He would kind of keep her doctor's schedule under control, remind her, you got to take your meds, or you got to go to this doctor's appointment, which at first glance, you would look at and say, wow, that's really kind and thoughtful. And that's somebody who cares about you.
It's actually insane that he used to manage her doctor's appointments.
Yep.
We'll get there.
So Shanann, meanwhile, made up for Chris's social struggles and deficiencies, of which he had plenty. Mm-hmm. She introduced him to her friends and included him in all their activities, kind of gave him a friend group, essentially. And before long, Chris moved into Shanann's house, and everyone kind of started to feel pretty confident that this might work out. I think they're actually working together. And as Chris was slowly but surely becoming integrated into Shanann's life, some people, especially Chris's family, were not entirely on board with this. They did not feel like they were a good fit for each other.
Just immediately?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, I want to remind you, these are two grown adults. So no one gives a flying fuck if you think that they're fit for each other. Nope. They got to figure that out.
Yep.
Just putting that out there for anybody who thinks that this makes sense. Chris's sister Jamie said, "We met and we weren't sure." It's really not up to you.
Okay.
Because you're not in the relationship,
right.
But okay. When the families got together for the first time, Chris's parents were immediately suspicious of Shanann's lifestyle.
What?
They said it didn't seem possible that someone so young could afford such a lavish home.
Okay, well, she works her ass off.
Here's the thing. Just because your son is a fucking loser,
right,
does not mean everyone is. Shanann worked her ass off.
Yeah.
And it's what are you
Some
suspicious
people do
of?
work their asses off, others don't.
So they assumed that she was reckless with money.
That's quite the assumption to make.
She built
when you
her
know
dream
nothing
home, working
about her.
2 jobs, but she was
and
reckless.
traveling 130 miles back and forth per day.
But she was reckless. With money.
Yeah, for sure.
Then there was the fact that she had already been married and divorced by her mid-20s.
Who gives a fuck?
You clutch the pearls, bitch.
Yeah, get a grip.
But the biggest problem, at least as far as Chris's mother was concerned, was Shanann's mother, Sandy.
Oh?
The two women clashed immediately.
Really?
And Sandy did not walk away from that meeting feeling good about potential for success here. Sandy later said, and I'd like to point out that Sandy was 100% correct here. Call her Nostradamus. She said, I knew she was going to be a thorn in the marriage. And she was.
Mama. So, most mamas.
Yeah.
No.
And I think she was like, oh, you're going to be a problem.
Oh, no.
Now, in 2011, Shanann's two closest friends at the time, Gina and Charlie Dietz, moved to Broomfield, Colorado. And within weeks, they were saying, Shanann, you have to move here. They said this fresh mountain air will be fucking awesome for your lupus. I think it's going to help you. It's a beautiful area. Like there, and she had just experienced a really bad flare up of the illness in the previous months.
Okay.
So the idea of moving was appealing in that sense, but she had just finished building her dream house,
Right.
and things were going well with Chris. So she's like, I don't know, that's
I don't
a
know
big
if that
change.
I want to just like up and leave, right?
Yeah. That August, Chris and Shanann rented a house in Ocean Isle Beach, North Carolina, and invited family to spend some time at the beach with them. One afternoon, a few days into the vacation, Chris approached Frank, who is Shanann's father, and told him he wanted to ask Shanann to marry him.
Okay.
But only if Frank gave his permission. Not, one to stand in the way of his daughter's happiness. Frank immediately gave his blessing, and a short time later, Chris proposed to Shanann on the beach, and she said yes.
Nice. Well,
No, at the time.
yeah.
Now, a few months later, Chris and Shanann flew to Colorado to visit Gina and Charlie, and it was the first time Shanann's friends had met her now fiance. And they were pleased that after such a disastrous relationship, the marriage, she had found someone who seemed, by all accounts, everyone said he seemed very devoted to her.
Okay.
Gina recalled he was very doting, attentive, kind, but shy and introverted. They all say this. His mother says this with much ire in her voice, that he was very doting on Shanann.
But you would think that you'd be proud of your son for being a doting husband. That's my opinion.
That's what I would think.
Like, if I had a son and he was a doting husband, I'd be like, hell yeah, I raised him right.
Yeah, like hell yeah. Treat
take care of your lady.
Treat your
partner.
partner like a fucking queen or king or
Yeah.
whatever, But it was during that trip that the question of moving to Colorado came up again. Gina was convinced it would be better for Shanann's health, and Chris didn't seem to have an opinion one way or another because
checks.
he's an empty husk.
Yeah.
Everybody, like this, the idea is going to come up here, and his mom likes to say it and stuff that. Look at any interview with them that she was domineering,
That Shanann was,
or that she was too that kind of person. This is just my opinion. It's not that it looks like she's very domineering. It looks that Chris Watts is an empty, again, I say husk that will just take anything and just roll with it until it doesn't work for him anymore. And then he explodes.
It also seems that he becomes obsessed with women. That's my opinion. So if the woman that he's obsessed with wants to move to Colorado, of course he's going to go with her.
What does he have going on?
Right.
He doesn't care. Sure, let's go to Colorado.
There's cars everywhere.
There's cars
They got
everywhere.
cars in Colorado.
Yeah. Is there cars in Colorado? Let's go to Colorado. That's how it seems to me.
Yeah.
So he was like, yeah, I don't really give a shit. So during the vacation, the couple hired a realtor to take them around the area and look at some properties. And by the time they were leaving to go back to North Carolina, they'd made the decision to move to Colorado as soon as possible.
Okay.
In fact, before they'd even gotten home, they'd already come up with a plan. Chris would move to Colorado first and stay with Gina and Charlie, while Shanann remained in North Carolina to sell the house and kind of wrap up all the affairs on the East Coast.
Okay.
Because again, they don't have kids at this point. It's much easier.
Yeah.
Now, Chris and Shanann's plan to move to Colorado became yet another point of contention with the families.
Mama doesn't want her right to leave.
While Shanann's family was supportive and helped her prepare for the move and the upcoming wedding, Chris's mom struggled to accept this.
I bet.
She said Colorado was Shanann's idea.
How do you know that? Because you're not at the dinner table.
You're not
when
in the
those conversations
relationship.
are happening. Like
Yeah.
Sorry, fuck off.
Yeah. Like, I'm not in the relationship either. So
Yeah.
I'm not saying it wasn't her idea. But you don't know
but
that.
we don't know.
You don't know that.
We all share
Yeah.
the common thing that we don't know.
And you know what? He was going along with it. So what's the problem?
Right.
And
When it's like he agreed to it and they lived
Yeah.
there for how long? Like, obviously it was fine for a little bit.
They're also grown adults.
Yeah.
So she said, why did she want to leave and take him all the way to Colorado?
Take him. He's a grown adult. He's not a child. She can't take him anywhere.
And I literally just wrote here, Jesus. And while the rest of Chris's family was a little more supportive than his mom was, they still seemed to harbor resentment for this. As they prepared for the engagement party, Shanann asked Jamie, his sister, to help in planning, specifically asking her to order the food. And she had told Jamie to order gluten-free food, and she failed to do so, which resulted in Shanann not being able to eat anything at the
engagement party
for her.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Jamie maintains that it was a mistake.
Okay.
It was a like miscommunication.
That can happen. For sure.
It can happen. Yeah.
Just looking at,
Looking at both sides here.
Oh.
But Sandy, Shanann's mom, suspects it was could have been just in her opinion, a subtle attempt to punish her for what the Watts family did perceive as stealing Chris from them.
Yeah.
Because they made it pretty obvious that they felt like she had taken him away. So the tension between the families finally came to a head several months later. They believed Shanann was controlling and overbearing, and that she'd manipulated Chris to get her way when it came to all the decisions in the relationship. That's just how they saw her.
Okay.
When it all finally boiled over, Chris had a falling out with his family over it. Years later, he said, I blew up at my family to the point where I said I didn't need any of them anymore because I have Shanann. And then are you ready for it? So you hear that and you're like, whoa, like that.
Yeah.
You actually took a stance? No. He said, I don't know if Shanann coached me to do it or if it was just rage like I'd never seen before.
You don't know?
He is such a pussy-ass wet rag. Like,
Because I'm sorry, like, you would know if she coached you to do that.
And
there would
also-
be instances where she would say, hey, freak out on your family. Hey, your
Also-
family sucks.
So convenient of you to say that when Shanann cannot dispute that.
Yeah.
And also, grow the fuck up.
Yeah.
So you stood up for her. I don't know if she coached me. I don't know. You don't know?
How do you not know?
You fucking idiot. You don't know?
I can't.
He's so gross.
He is.
Like, he's so gross.
He's just a wimp.
He is, ugh. It just makes me think of Randy and Scream when he says, Billy Loomis, what a pussy-ass wet rag in Scream suit. That's literally what he feels like to me. She coached you. Get a fucking grip. You fucking useless moose knuckle. So, by April 2012...
Not a moose knuckle.
Yeah, a moose
Not
knuckle.
a pussy.
Yeah. Yeah. I said it. I stand by it. By April 2012, Chris had quit his job and moved in with Gina and Charlie, but he stayed in daily contact with Shanann, who stayed behind to sell the house. And it turned out that the house took a little longer to sell than they thought. But by August, she finally found a buyer and even made a little bit of a profit on the
Nice.
sale because she's a sales girl.
Hell yeah.
With the house sold, she joined Chris in Colorado. And they first shared a small bedroom in the Dietz's basement until October 2013 when they bought the house in Frederick, Colorado.
Okay.
Which was a small town of about 15,000 people. Like a lot of people their age, Chris and Shanann were into social media.
Yeah.
You know, like especially at the time. And much of their lives together were documented and shared through like Facebook and Instagram.
Instagram had like just come out,
Yeah.
like right around that time.
Did it really?
Yeah, I think Instagram came out my sophomore year of high school, which
Damn.
would have been like 2011, 2012.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But in the months leading up to the wedding, too, they're planning a wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Shanann shared just enthusiastic daily updates about wedding planning, and she made a point of showing off her engagement ring, which was $10,000.
Hell yeah.
I was like,
Crazy. My engagement ring is gorgeous.
that
but
shocked me.
It's not $10,000.
No. Like that shocked. I like, okay, like
Yeah.
that. Damn, I just like that. Like shocked me. I was
Pop
like, whoa,
off.
$10,000.
How did people determine how much it cost?
I'm not sure. It's just in the
Okay.
documents. Now, around this time, tensions between the families had ramped up. I mean, it was constant.
Okay.
Chris's mom, Cindy, literally told him she didn't think Shanann was good enough for him, and she didn't like how she treated him. And then when it came down to it, they decided not to come to the wedding.
His own parents didn't go to his wedding?
Nope. And her reasoning, which there's like interviews that she's given or they have given during like the mom and the dad to people. In one of the interviews, she literally says, "We didn't attend because Shanann and I just couldn't get along. I didn't like the way she treated him." I'm sorry. If you grow up, you just can't get along.
That's nuts.
So you don't go to your only son's wedding.
That's nuts.
don't
In
know.
my opinion.
in my opinion,
That's nuts.
in my opinion, that's rough.
Damn.
But and it's like, what does that do?
Well,
They're getting married regardless of whether you're there or not. So
Yeah.
what did it do?
Oh, man.
All it does is add to tension.
This is messy.
So the wedding day finally comes, and despite people being jerks about it, it was on November 3rd, 2012. It was a modest ceremony at the Hilton in Charlotte. Most of their family came and their friends. Shanann's brother Frankie recalled later, "I was crying, thanking God for him being in my sister's life."
Oh, wow.
Now, because he could dupe everyone.
Yeah.
Now, with the wedding behind them, Chris and Shanann left for their honeymoon to Myrtle Beach. They actually were planning to go to Cancun, but they had to change plans like at the last second because it was too expensive.
Oh, okay.
Which we've all been there.
Yeah.
Looking back, Gina Dietz recalls having never seen either like people so in love.
Wow.
She said they were very happy. They were newlyweds, and it was wonderful. And just a few months later, they got more happy news when Shanann discovered that she was pregnant. Years earlier, her doctors had actually told her you might have trouble getting pregnant because of the lupus.
Oh, really?
So this news was like even more exciting.
Yeah.
Now, between the pregnancy and the new house and the marriage, things were really going well for them. Like the lead up to the wedding, Shanann wanted to document every step of her pregnancy, of course, from photos of her growing tummy to shots of the baby's closet and bedroom as they were filling it with toys and clothing.
Really exciting.
Gina said before she and I even met, she had clothes for her firstborn.
Oh.
The constant photos and updates on social media really would reflect this couple that's so excited about the birth of their child.
Of course.
And it did, because they were both very, very excited about this. But it also, to some people, was looking like they were living beyond their means.
Okay.
Because they were like buying too much when they really couldn't afford it.
Okay.
But I mean, that's also none of our fucking business.
Yeah.
Now, back in North Carolina, Chris and Shanann's combined income had been so that money really wasn't a problem for them.
Mm-hmm. Well, the cost of living, I'm sure, is also a bit cheaper.
Yeah. Well, and now Shanann was only making like a little over the national minimum wage, while most of Chris's salary went to bills and the mortgage on the new house at the time. So basically, they were spending more money than they were making, which the only reason why this is important is because financial stress can be a factor in certain like arguments and marriage problems. Mm-hmm. But they didn't seem to worry because they were just putting things on credit cards and just kind of like paying the minimum and going. Okay. Which can, again, become a problem later.
If you're a young person listening, you can pay more than the minimum.
You can.
I didn't know that when I was younger.
Yeah.
I thought you were just supposed to pay the minimum. And I fucked my credit at like 19 years old.
I feel like 99.99% of people fuck their credit up when they're younger.
At like 19, 20.
Because we don't teach people enough about it.
No, we don't learn about it in school.
And the system itself is complete bullshit.
Yeah, it's literally designed to fuck
the credit system is ass. It makes no sense.
Even, I'm like, my credit score doesn't make sense right now.
No, it's ridiculous. No, on December 16th, 2013, after 16 hours of labor, Shanann gave birth to a baby girl named Bella Marie.
Oh, that's a beautiful name.
She's so cute. A few weeks later, Ronnie and Cindy Watts, Chris's parents, they came to Colorado to visit and to meet their new granddaughter.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and Cindy had hoped they could leave the negative experiences in the past, but she wasn't willing to. So
that's tough. That's a catch-22.
Yeah, so like you could.
She was hoping to, but she couldn't.
She found it difficult to look past her feelings towards Shanann.
Grow up.
Cindy later recalled, Chris always seemed anxious, and when she needed something, he would run. He wouldn't walk, he would run. It was very odd.
Also, maybe he's anxious because of the tension between you two.
Yeah, you ever think of that?
If he is at all. Like,
okay, Cindy. Or he was just a good husband.
Right.
And she was pregnant, like she just had a baby.
Right.
Like,
hello?
I'm sorry he's being a good spouse at this time. It's almost like, I'm like, are you
not
all
want
right?
him to be?
Like, what is going on? It was very odd that he would go get things
had a
for his
baby.
wife who just gave birth.
Okay.
Like, sorry about it. Regardless of what Cindy Watts felt or believed, those who knew Chris and Shanann knew them as a great couple. Their friend Chris Landon told People later, they were the couple that you'd look at and then turn to your husband and be like, why aren't we like that?
Wow.
Which is like shocking. They said they seemed so supportive of each other. It was their public face. Which is clear.
Yeah.
In May, Chris found a new job as an oil field contractor for Covenant Testing Technologies in nearby Greeley. The change definitely came at the best time because all the money they had been spending was definitely starting to catch up, and this salary increase would go a long way towards getting them out of that hole. They definitely had a lot of debt at this point.
Yeah.
But in January 2015, Shanann learned that she was pregnant with their second child. Just as she'd done with the last pregnancy, she wanted to document all this. Yeah. She was documenting Bella's life and like all her milestones. And she was just excited about it.
Yeah.
To those following along on Facebook and Instagram, and what's really funny about this right now is in my notes, it auto-corrected Facebook to fake book.
Fake book.
And I didn't even do that intelligently. That's weird.
That is weird.
Everybody who saw them on Facebook and Instagram would have thought they couldn't look more happy or more well-adjusted as a couple. Behind the scenes, though, things were getting a little challenging. In addition to the growing financial problems that were just kind of stacking on each other, Bella was reaching the age now where she could walk, so she needed a lot more supervision. Once they start walking, all bets are off.
Exactly.
For the increasingly pregnant Shanann, that becomes an issue.
It's tough to keep up with.
She couldn't get around very easily, and Chris wasn't around as often as he was during the first pregnancy. The second pregnancy, if you're lucky enough, like, and that's what you want, to have a second pregnancy,
Right.
it is tough.
It's so different,
because
I'm
now
sure.
all of a sudden, the first one, you're like, well, I don't have a child, so
you're
I
like,
can
I'm
just
the
kind of,
queen,
I'm the
bitch.
queen of Sheba here,
Right.
And it's like, but the second one, you're like, oh shit, it's not.
I gotta
about
keep up
me.
with that one
Like,
that I
yeah.
already made.
Like,
yeah.
it's not just about me now,
Right.
But couples, you know, and we've seen this before. Everybody knows this. People who obsessively post how happy they are online
Are usually not the
do
happiest.
tend to be trying to compensate for something,
Yes.
or just trying to manifest
Not
that happiness.
always, obviously,
Not
but
always. I've seen some people who
a lot of time
seem,
it is the case.
but we need to remember that social media, especially now. I mean, back then it was. Now I think it's 100-fold. Social media is complete bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I think back then it was definitely a thing where like people who posted all the time would post how happy they were and like whatever, and it might not be so.
Right.
Now it's almost 100% across the board. I think now, like, it really is.
So not to get super woo, but a lot of social media popped off when Neptune was in a really strong placement, and Neptune is the planet of illusions.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
It's actually very fascinating.
Yeah,
you can
that's
go
actually
down like a
interesting.
deep hole on that.
Yeah, and I assume when you're in a not happy situation, or not even at this point, I don't think it was an unhappy situation. I think it was just a challenging and not ideal situation. Like things aren't going exactly how you want
So
them
you kind
to.
of overcompensate.
I think you're overcompensating because when people are telling you, wow, you're the cutest couple ever.
Makes you feel
wow,
better.
Couple goals. I want to be like that. Wow, this is so cute. Blah, blah, blah. Your brain can start believing that that's true. And then it can kind of coast you into the next day kind of thing. It's almost like just got to get to tomorrow. And these people will tell me I'm great.
Well, and there's also studies about
But
like,
it's so empty.
there are so many studies about what likes and comments do
Yeah.
to our brain, and it is similar
Oh,
to
it's
drugs.
unbelievable. Oh,
Like,
yeah.
the way
It's
that
like
it
a dopamine
stimulates your
hit.
brain is crazy.
And it's scary.
It is scary.
That's why, like, I know this isn't about this.
We're
but
kinda going off on a
because we're
tangent.
talking about this. I just want to say, taking social media breaks is so healthy.
Yeah.
I really encourage everybody to do it if they can.
When I think I took like
Very
a
worth
year
it.
off. That shit was great.
It is. It's real. It makes you learn to appreciate things that you're not
Yup.
appreciating right now. But back to this. So, in order to help with Bella and the soon-to-be-born second baby, Shanann's parents moved into the finished basement in the Watts house.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they for a short period of time they did. The
What
addition,
was that like?
So, well, with two new people in the home, Chris said it was stressful, of course.
Yeah.
But he also welcomed the help with Bella because now
Right.
they have built-in grandparents to help out. He later said when they first got here, they didn't have a job. And so they were around all the time.
And sorry, this is his parents, right?
No, her parents.
Oh, her parents. Okay. My comment was, I thought that.
Yeah,
his
for there.
parents
I
had
mean,
moved
any
in.
parents moving in, I think is like,
It's
oh,
tough.
how'd that go?
Yeah.
But the presence of her parents, according to him, he felt like it put a strain on everything, and they fought more than they had in the past, according to him.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
I think it was just because he was an asshole,
Probably.
personally.
Getting scared is one thing. Getting a thrill is, well, you want more of those in your life. The Genesis GV70 is built to thrill, baby. A thrilling yet elegant design always makes driving the GV70 an exciting adventure. Its powerful athletic stance screams performance and turns heads. Everybody's looking at you, girl, or boy, or whoever. Command the road and experience a class-leading standard 300 horsepower, oh my god, Plus, discover the different dynamic drive modes for all different terrains. Choose between the different terrain modes for whatever road conditions you may encounter. The Genesis GV70's award-winning technology and performance lets you drive with comfort and drive with confidence all at the same time. It's an exciting SUV with intuitive tech that can make your ride smooth even when the road isn't. And its blind spot cameras allow you to see what's next to you. It's like having eyes on the side of your head. That's pretty iconic. Its performance, by the way, is measured not only in power, but in how it makes you feel confident, sexy. The Genesis GV70. Learn more at genesis.com and feel the GV70. This episode is brought to you by SoFi, the all-in-one finance app where you can bank, borrow, and invest all in one place. Let's talk about bank accounts for a second. The average bank savings rate is 0.39% in interest. You're earning pennies on your savings, and it doesn't have to be that way. But with SoFi's high-yield checkings and savings, the money barely making moves sitting in your savings account can earn over 8 times the national average savings rate with eligible direct deposit. No account or overdraft fees. We love transparency. You can get your paycheck up to 2 days early, plus get up to a $300 welcome bonus when you sign up with eligible direct deposit. Sign up for SoFi checking and savings at SoFi.com/morbid. SoFi checking and savings is offered through SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms apply. The best summer pieces are the ones you end up wearing on repeat. Comfortable, versatile, and somehow right for almost every occasion. Quince makes it easy to create a summer wardrobe that you'll love, with elevated essentials made from premium materials like European linen, organic cotton, and washable silk, without the traditional retail markup. I love that! Quince's 100% European linen pants, dresses, and tops are the pieces that you absolutely will reach for all summer long. I absolutely love their linen. I have so many pairs of their linen pants, which you can dress up or you can dress down in the summer. Like, say you're going to a nice dinner, you can pair it with like a silk shirt, a really cute necklace, some good, makeup and an updo. Or if you're just looking for a more casual look, you can do the linen pants with like a loose button-up shirt and you still look really chic, kind of like, I don't know, Diane Keaton vibes, I kind of think. Also, it's not just apparel. Quince also offers elevated essentials for your home, from bedding and bath to kitchen essentials and furniture. They have it all, honey. I am a big lover of Quince, and I really do think you will be too. Make your summer wardrobe feel easier. Go to quince.com/morbid for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/morbid for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/morbid.
By July 2015, Shanann gave birth to their second daughter, Celeste, who would be known as Cece.
Such a cute name. Again.
She was born with an allergic swallowing disorder.
Oh.
That required constant medical attention in the first year of her life.
Oh, that's really scary.
Which is tough. That's really tough.
When you also already have another child, too.
Yeah, it's really, really tough. So they had filed for bankruptcy before this, so it did wipe out a lot of the debt that they were in. But now there was going to be medical bills on top of that.
Right.
So even with the presence of her parents, Shanann was finding it difficult to keep up with everything. During the day, she was taking care of the girls, trying to keep up with the house. At night, she was working from home as an auditor for a local hospital. Desperate to get caught up on everything, in January 2016, she started working part-time as a rep for a multi-level marketing company selling an energy drink called Thrive.
Okay.
The job was mostly online, and thanks to her, she was pretty adept at social media at this point.
And really good at sales.
She was really good at it, and she was able to navigate it really well. According to her Facebook posts at the time, the Thrive was helping with her pain management as well, and she had stopped taking her lupus medication.
Wow. The energy drink?
Yeah, I did not look into Thrive at all, so I don't know what it is. Who knows what it is.
Right.
But the deeper Shanann got into marketing Thrive online, the more she was kind of bringing Chris in for sales pitches and having him be a part of videos and pictures. And Chris was actually using Thrive as well. So he was commenting on his experiences, how it was helping him with certain things. But as author John Glatt wrote, something about the succession of grinning pictures of Chris was hollow.
Huh.
And if you look at this man, he is hollow.
He is very hollow.
His eyes are so fucking dead. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
When I say the lights are on, but no one's home.
Scary.
Yeah.
Scary. Now, as Shanann's success with this continued to grow, she tried to bring Chris on board as a sales rep. But he shockingly lacked the charisma necessary to succeed in sales, which I know
Crazy.
you never saw coming.
That's
you thought
shocking.
he'd be great at that.
You could knock me over with a feather.
Chris said she put me underneath her. So that
she started this.
she's bringing you in, babe.
Right.
And he said, if I wanted to talk to somebody at the mall or the pool about Thrive, I would just stumble all over my words. It's like, okay,
That's
so you're
your
not good at
fault.
sales.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit? Despite his struggles to grow his sales here, Shanann continued to enthusiastically celebrate him on social media. She really strengthened that outward appearance of this happy couple while there was definitely some tension underneath.
Okay.
Now, by the end of 2016, her social media presence became even bigger than it had ever been. She was like really staying consistent posting because like that is how you do it
Consistency is
if
a
you
huge
want
part
to
of it.
grow an audience to get paid to do this,
Yep.
which is what she was trying to do.
Yep.
And she was posting a lot about Chris too because I think she desperately wanted this marriage to be what she thought it was.
Right.
And she's posted one in late November that was captioned, "My husband, Chris, he is my biggest supporter. He's an amazing father to our beautiful girls and the best husband ever."
Wow.
So she was just like always trying to pump him up.
Yeah.
In early 2017, Sandy and Frank, Shanann's parents, packed up their things and moved back to North Carolina. Like things had
Settled a
seemed
bit.
to even out. By April, Shanann was working on Thrive full-time, managing her own business and Chris's social media presence, operating like, both things at once. While it appeared to most people that things were now going pretty well for the couple, Chris's mother, Cindy, said she could sense a growing tension between them.
Could she?
So other people thought it was fine, but
Could she
sense
all the
it.
way from North Carolina? That's crazy.
Cindy said, "I've never seen her scream at Chris, but I'm sure there was something in private."
What?
Because she because she always had that angry look on her face, like she was disgusted with him.
You can be angry at somebody and not scream at them. And if you never saw any evidence of her screaming at him, why would you think that she screamed at him?
What I have to say is, you know what they say about assuming, Cindy? Something about ass. I don't know.
Something about ass.
I don't know what. I don't remember it. I don't remember the saying. I just don't think we should assume that she's screaming at him in private.
If you've never seen that happen.
Whether or not Cindy was right about her assessment of Chris and Shanann's relationship, she wasn't the only person at this point that was noticing a change in the dynamic a little bit. In the late summer of 2018, a young woman named Nikki Kessinger,
Kessinger, I think.
began working at the oil company where Chris worked, and his coworkers couldn't help but notice Chris being a fucking ogling creepo loser fuckface and just staring at her.
It's the worst when you see that your coworker is like that.
Yeah, when you see that your coworker's this ogling little
Creep face, fuck face.
just a lech. Like that's what he looks like to me.
And he's staring at her all the time.
One coworker said Chris would be on his laptop, and when she'd walk by, he'd look up and stare at her awkwardly.
Ew.
Which I'm like, what got you about that, girl? Like that, I don't know if that would do it for me, but okay.
I know that would not do it for me.
Wouldn't do it for me. Now, although their work shouldn't have really brought them in contact very often because they were on two separate things, like in this company, before long, Chris seemed to be finding ways to casually run into Nicole around the office.
Imagine that.
She later said it was always hit or miss. It wasn't an everyday thing in the beginning.
Okay.
Regardless, the attraction between them seemed to be undeniable, and Chris apparently didn't know what a divorce was. So,
good.
In June 2018, Shanann excitedly posted that she and Chris were expecting a third child.
His reaction in that post, is bonkers.
It's
in
pretty
my
bonkers.
opinion, he literally goes, "Awesome,
awesome."
Whoa. If I told my husband I was pregnant and he said, "Awesome,"
just one day after Shanann posted about her pregnancy, Chris and Nikki spoke for the first time. She recalled he started talking about his kids, and then she mentioned, and he said, "Yes, I have a wife, but we're getting separated." Now, what's confusing for me is there was this, and then she said that at first he didn't say that he had kids. She didn't find that out for a while. So I'm not sure which one is correct.
Stories. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one is correct.
Okay.
But yeah, he supposedly told her, allegedly, that he was getting separated from his wife. If you look at the discovery documents, maybe. I guess you'll just have to look at them and kind of take what you will from that.
Yeah.
And also, when asked, his mother said that she didn't believe he was happy at all for the pregnancy.
Which is disgusting.
He knows how babies are made.
He's
made to.
You can avoid
so,
that
like, you know
if you're
that.
not excited
Like,
to have another child. And if you are planning on getting separated,
maybe don't do that.
don't do that.
Yeah, don't have another child if you are actually planning on separating.
It's pretty simple.
But Chris showed Nikki pictures of the girls, neglecting to mention that there was another one on the way, which that is correct. She found out in the media later. Oh. She had no idea that she was pregnant.
Because that probably would have changed things, I would hope, at least.
And she liked that he was an enthusiastic father, or seeming to be. Later that day, she sent him an email thanking him for being honest about his relationship status with his wife. And she wrote, "Truthfulness is so underrated in our culture." And in his reply, Chris commented he was a straightforward guy and that lying just complicates things.
Well, he's a really bad liar, so I do believe that he felt that way.
It does complicate things. He's not great at it.
He might be the worst liar on planet Earth.
The polygraph examiner literally congratulated him on how bad of a liar he was.
Yeah. If you watch the interview that he's doing, which we're going to get into, lies.
Lies.
Bad lies.
He also, in that same one, told her how absolutely stunning he thought she was. "Excuse me while I vomit for an indefinite amount of time."
Yeah.
You fucking piece of shit.
I have a lot to say.
You fucking piece of shit. Now, in the days that followed, Chris and Nicole continued exchanging. Now, this is the days that followed after his wife announced her third pregnancy.
Yep.
They continued exchanging casual messages through their work email, but after a week, they started texting and sending messages through less official channels. Meanwhile, Shanann filled her days with, trying to keep the house together.
Yeah, working,
posting
raising
about her
children.
pregnancy and trying to work. On Father's Day, she posted a long message about how devoted Chris is to their family and how lucky she was to have him, alongside a video of Bella singing a special song she'd memorized just for him. Oh. Bella, who he smothered and shoved into an oil tank, in case you don't know the case.
That's horrific.
I hate this man with every fiber of my fucking being.
Same.
Now, later, Chris said of his relationship with Nicole, "I thought it was just flirting. I didn't think that something would actually happen." And then ready for his
oh God.
"I've just never been pursued by anybody before."
You weren't pursued by Shanann when you guys got together?
Shut the fuck. That little innocent, doe-eyed baby boy act doesn't fucking work.
No, it's disgusting.
I just never had a lady interested in me before. Gee golly, it was just so neat. I couldn't help it.
You had a relationship that you say you had before Shanann. You also
shut the fuck up.
Dated and married Shanann.
He's such a waste of chromosomes. But seeing how their relationship unfolded, it's kind of hard to accept that Chris was doing nothing more than flirting. Because it ramped up pretty quick for flirting to be what you were thinking was happening here. After they stopped sending messages through work emails, Chris and Nicole, began taking steps to communicate through means that wouldn't be discovered. But wait a minute. I thought he was separating from his wife. I thought this was okay.
So why would you not need to be discovered?
I don't know. At first, Chris gave Nicole the number for his work phone, knowing that Shanann regularly checked his personal phone.
Oh.
Why are you hiding it?
Yeah.
Huh. Then a few days later, Nicole told him that they should start communicating only through their private phones so no one at work would know they were talking.
Okay.
Why? Why?
Yeah.
I thought this was okay. Weird. Very strange. But Chris may not have set out to have an affair with Nicole. Initially, when he was just ogling her in the office,
he probably just didn't think it was possible.
The precautions that they were taking in order to keep their communication secret makes it hard to believe the whole thing was flirting.
Yeah,
seems weird.
Yeah,
I can't imagine that.
I'd say so.
But hey, that's just me using logic, which is something that both of them seem to treat as an optional subscription service. So I don't know. We're not on the same thing here. We're not on the same playing field, I think. So the more Chris and Nicole got to know each other, the more he shared about his life with Shanann. She did say Chris said that she was all about appearances in all aspects of life. Which is so nice that you're talking shit to your mistress
About your
pregnant wife. He said that Shanann pretended everything was fine and that they never argued, anything like that.
Is she supposed to be posting your arguments on Instagram?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Do you want her to post what a shit stain you are?
What?
It was about 2 years earlier that he said he felt like the marriage had started to go bad for them.
So you should have separated.
And Nicole, of course, said he tried to talk to her many times, but it fell on deaf ears.
Okay.
Cool. The more time Chris spent with Nicole, the more his troubles with Shanann seemed to fade into the back of his mind because now he's distracted. By the end of July, the two of them were in constant communication, his mistress and him. And they were sneaking off to hotels or Nicole's apartment whenever they could find the time. Chris assured Nicole that he was getting a divorce. That's what is alleged.
Well, they always do.
Yeah, so they could finally be together. But until that happened, she wanted to take things slow.
Baby, you got to see divorce papers if you're going to get set up with a man who's separated, quote unquote.
Well, and she wanted to take things slow, and maybe she did. I don't know. Maybe take a look at the discovery documents and see. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe. To me, they were a little... They made me a little confused by the whole thing, but
maybe we just have different definitions of slow.
Maybe. Who knows?
I don't know.
Who can be sure? I wasn't there.
Yeah.
So she said he was like in fifth gear the entire time. Maybe it was up to me to hit the brakes, but he was so kind to me. Why was I going to push him away?
Because he was married and his wife was pregnant.
I literally wrote, because he was married with children, Nicole.
Yeah.
That's why.
Nicole, it's pretty simple, babe.
I got to tell you, when a guy is telling you, no, I am going to divorce my wife.
He's not.
And even if he is, cool, then he will. Wait until he does.
Yep.
Like that, he can't have his cake and eat it too.
You'll sleep better.
You will. That's the thing. And it's like, I'm not saying this is her fault. I'm not saying anything like that. So like, calm your tits. I'm just saying, it just, for you, you're like, don't let him have his cake and eat it too.
Don't
let
be
him
the
take
other
care
woman.
of that situation. And then you can feel good about going forward. That's just my opinion on the whole thing.
Don't be the other woman, be the main bitch.
Exactly.
That's my motto.
And you just like, he's going to keep telling you that.
Exactly.
And you don't want to be listening to him like that. No, make him prove it.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. It's like, if he really is unhappy in that relationship and they are together, not happy, then they will divorce or separate. And you will be able to continue a relationship. It just doesn't, it's always messy when you are going to get involved before their divorce.
Yeah.
At least from what I have seen in my life. That is just my
from experience.
Personal, like, what I've seen. That's all. Okay, I'm not saying I'm an expert on this. I'm not saying anything like that.
No, it's just
saying.
Just that.
Now, July 24th, this is directly from the discovery documents, which we will link in the show notes.
So it is fact.
This is official. July 24th, 2018, Nicole Googled, quote, "Man I'm having an affair with says he is leaving his wife."
Oh.
July 25th, 2018, Chris Googles, are you ready? When to say I love you. When to say I love you in a new relationship. What do you feel when someone says I love you? And how does it feel when someone says I love you?
Okay, let's save the latter too. When do you say I love you in a new relationship? When you're divorced.
Yeah.
When you're officially going through the process of getting divorced.
And also,
when you and your wife are living separately.
Why are you asking what human emotions feel
Let's
like?
get there.
Why are you asking
Why
that?
are you asking a search engine?
Babe, you have kids and you don't know what love feels like? You've been with somebody and married and you don't know what love feels like?
We can laugh and joke. Like, obviously there's a lot to laugh and joke about there, but it actually at its very core is so scary.
It is horrifying.
That he asked Google, what does it feel like when somebody says I love you?
Well, and later in one of the interviews, his mom says, like, he's not the psychopath. Like, he's not a sociopath. I'm not armchair diagnosing here because I don't know what he is. He's something, though. Like,
if you have to ask Google what it feels like when somebody says I love you, as a grown person who has been in loving relationships or what seem like loving relationships, what? Like, as a father?
I'm like,
what do you feel when your kids tell you that they love you?
Because he's not even saying, like, what does it feel like when someone loves you? He's saying, like, what does it feel like when someone says I love you?
Right.
People have said they love you.
So you should
Why don't you know what that feels like?
But apparently it doesn't penetrate him.
It's so scary.
It is chilling.
Yeah. Now, the discovery document also shows that Nicole was Googling both Shanann and Chris's Facebooks for long periods of time, intermittently.
Okay, so then wouldn't she be seeing the videos where Shanann is saying what a great father and husband that Chris is?
That's what I'm a little confused about. And again, I'm not claiming anything. No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, like, what... I do wonder, what were you thinking when you were seeing her posting these? But then again, if I'm going to give the devil's advocate here, then I'm going to say, well, okay, she's seeing those. She's probably going to Chris and being like,
and he's saying that? She's all about appearances.
And he's like, well, she's just about social media and appearances. Of course she's posting that.
Oh, man.
Because this is what this guy does, you know?
Yeah.
Now, whether or not, Shanann, by all accounts, and from the discovery documents, when you can see their text messages between each other, it didn't seem like she knew that he was having an affair. It seemed like she was suspecting it.
Okay.
And she just didn't want to know.
Yeah.
But that summer, she had to know something changed between them because it was definitely happening. It's very evident that she was understanding that. Chris was never great at communication, which is not a shock. But the more time he spent with Nicole, the less he seemed to have anything to say to Shanann. By mid-July, it seemed that even his commitment to secrecy had started to slip. Because on more than one occasion, he stayed the night at Nicole's apartment.
What the fuck?
Just stayed out.
Didn't come home to his pregnant wife and two children. That's fucked.
And by the end of July, they had expressed their love for each other. So that Google search
so Google
paid
said
off.
July sounds good.
And he vowed again to divorce his wife so they could be together. But he hadn't yet. Now, throughout much of the summer, Shanann and the girls were actually in North Carolina visiting family. Chris had found an excuse to stay behind in Colorado.
Of course he did.
So he could be with Nicole.
Yep.
Those weeks that Shanann was away were, according to Chris, the freest he had ever felt in years. Without his children.
And away from his pregnant wife.
And the thought of that coming to an end was so deeply frustrating.
That's so scary.
He spent the entire time with his mistress, and in the later interviews with police, she said that they had to lie to the babysitter so she wouldn't know that they were together. When they came home from this trip, Shanann went on a work trip, and he was still going out with his mistress and having the babysitter babysit the kids and telling them that he was going on to work things.
What the fuck?
And she knew that.
I'm going to keep my comments to myself.
Now back to the North Carolina trip with the girls and Shanann being gone. Shanann was looking forward to returning home from this trip. She wanted to see Chris. She wanted to talk about things. But during the trip, if you, again, look at the discovery documents where there's all the text messages, it's pretty fucking heart-wrenching. The discussions between the two is her literally begging him to give her anything, just any kind of confirmation that he loved her, confirmation that he was excited to have another baby.
While she's carrying his child, she's begging him for confirmation that he loves her.
And at one point she says, how do you fall in love with out of love with someone in 5 weeks?
Oh my God.
And she's literally saying to him, this came out of nowhere.
Right.
Like literally came out of nowhere. She said when she showed back up, he was cold and distant. Again, she was saying this to friends, like texting them, because he was a spineless little thumb. Mm-hmm. And he should have just said, I want to get separated.
Yep.
Now, the first 2 weeks of August were a huge departure from the norm in the house. The more Chris pulled away from Shanann, the more she was just begging him to open up and talk to her about what was wrong. And as far as she could tell, everything had been fine when she left for North Carolina. And she said now that he was home, he wanted nothing to do with her. Like, didn't even want to touch her. She told a friend that it felt like it came out of nowhere. She kept asking over and over, like, how do you fall in love out of love with somebody so quickly? And August 4th, which is in the beginning of August where we are right now, where this is all falling apart, Nicole searched wedding dresses for 2 hours.
Oh, fuck.
For 2 hours. That's according to the discovery documents.
What the fuck? This episode is brought to you by SoFi, the all-in-one finance app where you can bank, borrow, and invest all in one place. Let's talk about bank accounts for a second. The average bank savings rate is 0.39% in interest. You're earning pennies on your savings, and it doesn't have to be that way. But with SoFi's high-yield checkings and savings, the money barely making moves sitting in your savings account can earn over 8 times the national average savings rate with eligible direct deposit. No account or overdraft fees. We love transparency. You can get your paycheck up to 2 days early, plus get up to a $300 welcome bonus when you sign up with eligible direct deposit.
Sign up for SoFi Checking and Savings at SoFi.com/morbid. SoFi Checking and Savings is offered through SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms apply. Getting scared is one thing. Getting a thrill is, well, you want more of those in your life. The Genesis GV70 is built to thrill, baby. A thrilling yet elegant design always makes driving the GV70 an exciting adventure. Its powerful athletic stance screams performance and turns heads. Everybody's looking at you, girl, or boy, or whoever. Command the road and experience a class-leading standard 300 horsepower. Oh my God. Plus, discover the different dynamic drive modes for all different terrains. Choose between the different terrain modes for whatever road conditions you may encounter. The Genesis GV70's award-winning technology and performance lets you drive with comfort and drive with confidence all at the same time. It's an exciting SUV with intuitive tech that can make your ride smooth even when the road isn't. And its blind spot cameras allow you to see what's next to you. It's like having eyes on the side of your head. That's pretty iconic. Its performance, by the way, is measured not only in power, but in how it makes you feel confident, sexy. The Genesis GV70. Learn more at genesis.com and feel the GV70. Do you remember in school when you just knew that your teacher had a favorite of everything? They would always use the same blue dry erase marker when they wrote on the board, or they would talk nonstop about their favorite element during science. I had a teacher once that literally had a favorite brand of marker. She would only write with specific markers, and if another marker ended up in her classroom, she was TO'd. And honestly, I was probably her favorite student because at the end of the year, I got her that specific brand of marker. Let's talk about their real favorite thing, though. Their favorite tissue brand. Kleenex. According to Teacher List, they are the #1 facial tissue trusted by teachers. Kleenex Ultra Soft tissues are silky soft to help prevent skin irritation, and now you can take them anywhere with Kleenex Snap and Go. I absolutely love Kleenex Snap and Go. It's so perfect to have that in your car. I had a cold last week and I was just... Honey, my nose was a faucet. I hate to do this to you, but it was disgusting. Drew literally came out of our garage with like 15 of the Kleenex Snap and Goes, and I put those in my glove compartment, and honey, they were easy access. It was so nice knowing that I didn't have to blow my nose into like an old wrapper that I had. Ew. So do the best thing for your kids' teachers and stock up on the ultimate classroom favorite. Maybe it'll make them their teacher's favorite student. They definitely have a favorite. Don't even get me started because, again, you know it was me. For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.
Now, between all of this are multiple texts, again, where Shanann is upset and begging him for anything. She says they were all over each other when she left and couldn't get enough of each other. And she's like, and then all of a sudden you don't want anything to do with me.
Because
that's
he's
how
getting
quickly
it from somebody else.
Yeah, he had 5 weeks of his mistress, and now he has shut off everything to Shanann. Like she says he would barely kiss her at the airport.
Oh.
And during some of the most emotional texts that she's sending, these big long blocks of texts where she's spilling her entire heart out, Chris Watts was Googling the distance between Moon and Earth.
What?
Yeah.
What?
His pregnant wife is spilling her heart out to him, begging him just to tell her that it's okay and that he loves her and that he's going to take, like, that they're going to be a family and that all of this. And he is sitting there Googling in the middle of these texts, what's the different distance between Earth and the Moon?
So she literally meant nothing to him at this point.
He is
to be that unbothered.
Unbothered.
While you're I can't express this enough. Like, I cannot. Your pregnant wife and mother of your already 2 born children is begging you to give her anything, and you're doing a science experiment?
Yeah. He didn't answer one at one point, and when she was just going on and on and on, and she literally said, your pregnant wife is spilling their heart out to you, and our marriage is crumbling before us, and you're just falling asleep.
He's not even falling asleep.
And at that point, I think he did.
He's applying for an internship at NASA. What the fuck?
Like, what is wrong with you? August 8th, 2018, according to the discovery documents, were our official record, Nicole searched, quote, marrying your mistress.
Oh, so she... Oh,
yeah.
To call yourself the mistress, too, is like...
Well, it implies you know.
Of course it does.
I'm just saying that search implies you know. I'm not saying, I'm covering my ass here. I'm not saying anything.
No, I know.
But, Shanann at this point was also Googling, because she had come home. And when she came home, they went through a lot. They were going through everything. But then Shanann said, like, they were having good discussions when she got home. They were starting to talk through things. He was still being cold and distant. And he was still saying some things like, I don't know what's going on in my head. And she was Googling emotion-based couples therapy. She was Googling different couples therapy things. She was, like, really trying to fix this whole thing.
Which, like, I can only imagine, like, you know how it feels to be pregnant. Like, I'm sure your emotions are high already in a perfect marriage.
And then to have this asshole as your partner?
Like, that, she doesn't need to be under that much stress.
No. Now, August 9th, Shanann went on a work trip to Arizona. And again, she was in a much better mood and she was talking to friends saying that, you know, she was having discussions. He had told her he loved her again. Because he wasn't saying that before. But she said he was still cold. And at the same time that this is going on, that she's texting her friends that things are getting better, he was transferring pictures of Nicole onto a secret calculator app on his phone. He does that often.
Okay.
They sent a lot of pictures to each other. And he had a secret calculator app, which he would keep them in so Shanann couldn't find them. And those things get transferred into that app during the weirdest fucking times. Let me tell you. And go take a peek at those discovery documents and read the text messages.
So that's an app designed to look like a calculator that you can like hide shit in?
I suppose.
Like
I did not
that
look it
even
up.
Exists.
It's just called a secret calculator app in the discovery documents, and I didn't look any further than that.
I need to look at what a secret calculator app is.
I was like, I don't even want to know that this exists.
Is that like designed for cheating? Because that pisses me off.
Because it's probably like looks like a calculator, so it's like you would never...
I'm looking at it.
But remember, if you have an iPhone, there's only one calculator on there.
Yeah.
It is a thing.
They're vault apps disguised, this is from Google, as functional calculators to hide photos, video files, and notes behind a pin.
Why do those exist?
These apps operate with a private password. What the fuck?
He transferred photos, particularly of Nicole, into that app several times.
Yep.
And in the middle of very intense, very emotional conversations with his wife.
One of these apps, you can hide photos and videos. It includes a secure browser, so you can like separately Google crazy shit.
Wow.
Notes and the ability to take new pictures directly into the app. Wow. I did not know that was a thing.
Ugh.
You can even you can even put contacts in there.
You know who did know that was a thing?
Chris Watts.
Chris Watts.
Wow.
Meanwhile, as he's doing that, Shanann had ordered a book on Amazon about talking through problems as a couple and like finding love together again.
Oh my God.
When it was delivered, she was in Arizona and got a notification that it was delivered. So she was like, go check the mail. They found that book in the garage in a trash can.
Are you fucking kidding
He's disgusting. So while she's in Arizona on this work trip, they had very nice text messages back and forth with each other. They were talking about the girls, saying they loved each other during this time, calling each other, like he called her boo. Like they were like sending pictures of the girls to each other, commenting on the girl, like talking about the new baby hours before he would murder them all.
And at the same time, he was also hanging out with the mistress and lying to the babysitter.
Yep.
That was during that trip.
Yep.
Awesome.
Now on August 11th, Nicole and Chris went to dinner, and usually now this is when Shanann is in Arizona, and usually according to Nicole, he paid for dinner with gift cards to hide it from his wife because remember he's divorcing her, but she can't know about this. But that night he used a credit card, and she was shocked by this and took it as a sign that he was really ready to leave her. I take it as a clear indication that he didn't plan for it to be a problem anymore.
It's so crazy that you just got to this part of the story because I was just thinking to myself, at what point did he decide to murder her?
Feels like it might have been here.
Yeah.
It's at the very least very highly suspect to me.
Yeah.
That he's, and I understand that Nicole took it as like, okay, he's ready to
of course she's not going to think he's going to murder his wife.
Yeah, of course
not. Like nobody thinks that way.
I'm sitting here saying, looks to me like he didn't think it would be a problem. I don't know what he was thinking there, but
that's so scary.
In the discovery documents, you will also see that he regularly frequented myprepaidcenter.com, which was a prepaid Visa site where you could reload onto that. So he was only using gift cards usually. Okay. In recovered text, this is just a side thing because it shows you how fucking weird he is. In a text recovered from their phones, which, by the way, Nicole and Chris deleted a lot of their texts when he was arrested.
But they still found them.
Of course they did.
Yeah.
You can't delete
texts. Aren't actually deleted.
But they show in the discovery documents which ones were deleted. Oh. And she also deleted all his stuff off her phone when they brought her in for questioning.
Yikes.
But that's just fact.
Yeah.
He also called her his sexy empanada.
No.
At one point, and here's the thing, I just stumbled on that one. I how could I ever be looking for that?
An empanada is like a meat pie.
Thank you. I just thought that was interesting. It popped at 11:30 at night last night. I'm sitting there scrolling like a fucking goblin through these discovery documents, like the texts. That popped up, and I said, "I'm sorry, what?"
He was super socially awkward.
That's the thing. Like, who's called
my sexy empanada to be a pet name?
Like, get out of here.
If Drew ever called me his sexy empanada, I'd be like, "What did I do to upset you?"
Literally, I'd be like, "What is that?
Like, why are you trying to insult me?
Like, are you all right?"
Sexy empanada.
Had to throw that in there because it was just so absurd.
What?
And again, I highly, highly suggest that if you have some time on your hands to take a peek through the discovery documents, because they really do give you such an overview of what was going on, what they were searching, what they were talking about, things between him and Shanann. It gives you a better picture of Shanann and his relationship.
That's what I was just going to say.
Besides what other people were putting on it.
There's so many rumors when it comes to this case, and it's sad.
Look at the discovery documents.
A lot of them are like, a lot of people shit on Shanann and say she was domineering and she was this and she was that. So I agree with you. Go look at the discovery.
Yeah, because no matter what, I don't give a shit. She didn't deserve to be murdered.
And also,
I don't care if she was domineering. Like, clearly, who knows? I don't know. I wasn't in the relationship. She doesn't deserve to be murdered.
Of course not. And clearly, she was blindsided by this whole thing.
And that's what I mean. Like, the discovery documents really give you a clearer picture of what their relationship was and like how they were talking to each other.
Right.
And it's like, it doesn't matter what the relationship was like or what she was like or whatever. She's not here to negate that fact, to say what was happening or speak on it. So it's really fucked up to be like, well, she was domineering. Okay, so he should strangle her to death?
Right.
In front of her children? Like, is that really what we think here? Like, come on, get a grip. Now, in the early morning hours of August 13th, 2018, Shanann returned home from the work trip in Arizona. She had sent him a text before taking off on the plane that said, "Finally on plane and about to take off. Prayers for a safe flight. Love you!" ! And he didn't respond.
Nice.
Pregnant wife was getting on a plane home and didn't respond.
Wow.
After being dropped off at the house by her friend Nicole Atkinson.
Because he couldn't bother to go pick her up from the airport.
I'll give him this. It was very late. It was in the middle of the night and the girls were home.
Okay.
So he would have had to take them out at like 1 o'clock in the morning. So I'll give him that.
All right.
But she went inside, leaving her suitcase by the front door, and she walked up to bed, trying not to wake the girls. Hours later, Shanann's friend of the century.
Yeah.
Hours later, Shanann's friend of the century, Nicole Atkinson, called Shanann's phone to check in. Shanann had missed an appointment with her OBGYN.
That's why I said earlier.
Yeah.
It's very interesting that he used to manage her doctor's appointments.
Well, once he got distracted.
Yeah, clearly wasn't doing that anymore.
And she missed the appointment and she hadn't responded to any of their texts. So Nicole was getting worried. When she couldn't get a hold of Shanann by phone, Nicole Atkinson went to the house and found it empty. But she found Shanann's car there. Her shoes that she always wore were by the door. She could see them. And she was like, something's off. So she assumed Chris was at work, but Shanann and the girls were nowhere to be seen. So concerned about her friend, she called Chris at work, but he said he hadn't seen Shanann since she got home earlier that morning. So a group of her friends all band together to text Chris their concerns. She had friends, let me tell you. Her friend Cassandra, who goes by Cassie, texted him about it, and his response was, "She went to a friend's house with the kids. She won't tell me where, though. When I got home, I'll update you." What?
She won't tell you where?
What?
And her friends are texting you? I would assume that they may know her other friend.
Well, that was what was immediately suspicious to them because who is this friend?
Yeah.
What the fuck do you mean?
This is her friend group.
So they pressed.
Good.
They didn't let it go. They said they knew that the couple was having issues and that Shanann was in a bad way emotionally because of this, and they were worried. He was most concerned about them not thinking he was a bad guy. Meanwhile, this is hours out of him murdering his pregnant wife and children, by the way. Yep. But he doesn't want her friends to think he's a bad guy.
But Shanann's the one that's all about appearances.
Cassie responds, queen shit. Right now, I don't care about you or your relationship or what type of person you are or not, or what I think of you. I'm not trying to be rude when I say that. And she was like, but just what the fuck's going on?
Right. Like,
she was like, I literally don't care about you and I don't care about your relationship. Like, they were like, we don't even like you.
We just care about Shanann.
Meanwhile, during this, he was texting a realtor about their unfinished basement.
What?
Yeah. Discovery documents. Cassie told him her only concern was, quote, for his damn wife and her well-being.
Good.
And then she let him have it. She told him Nikki was calling the police, Nicole. She was calling the police and said, so unless you want the police to bust your damn door down, you get home and check on your family.
Period.
Queen shit.
Period.
Queen shit. Chris was desperate for them not to call the police. He begged them not to. He said he was coming home and they were like, fuck you.
Because what? Like, your wife and children are missing. Why are you begging us not to call the police?
Exactly. So Nikki Atkinson called the Frederick Police Department to report Shanann missing and asked that they go to the house to conduct a well-being check.
Yeah.
Also, there was a group chat with Shanann's friends and her in it. And one of them said at the time, the police are here and they need to check Chris's phone and computer.
Wow.
Here's the thing. If I went missing, I tell you right now, I know for a fact that none of my friends' first reaction would be John did it.
Nope. Same.
If your first reaction is that heavily, I think he might have done it. He's an asshole. He might have done it.
Yeah, like, at the very least, he's a piece of shit.
Yep. Like that, I can guarantee. I even said this in front of Deb and everybody. I was like, would you have thought
she said no.
to check John's phone and computer? She was like, no, that would not even cross my mind. Like, that's bad. And during all of this, his mistress, Nicole, called him, and he called her several times. But on both ends, they had deleted the calls.
Sus.
Which, like, why did you do that?
Sus.
Also, during this time, hours after what we find out later, he had killed his pregnant wife and his 3- and 4-year-old daughters. He had, we'll get into it later, don't worry. He had buried Shanann's body in an oil field, and he had shoved the bodies of his 3- and 4-year-old daughters into an oil tank that they could barely fit into. And now, during the time when her friends are now freaking out and he knows what he's done, he sent one final image of his mistress to that secret calculator app.
Are you fucking kidding me?
It's in the discovery documents.
What the fuck, dude?
I was speechless. That takes an evil like I can't comprehend.
Yeah.
And also, what are you hiding it
from?
What are you doing?
Do you think that the police don't see those?
Well, that's the thing. I'm like, I think he thought that would be like
secret from
everybody.
The police. Wow, what a fucking moron.
Because it's a wind tunnel up there.
It is a wind tunnel up there. Wow.
That is just so diabolical. Your children are submerged in an oil tank, and your pregnant wife and unborn child are in the dirt at your work. And you're sitting there sending spicy images to a secret fucking file?
You just killed 3 children and your wife.
Like, I'm just like, my brain literally can't comprehend.
You just annihilated your entire family.
And it's like,
let's call it what it is.
Well, and maybe it's because this case in particular, 1, it's so brutal and so unthinkable. But 2, we have those discovery things and we have so much documentation of every movement of it that you can really see everything in real time. He just went
about his day to day.
That it's just like, whoa. Because a lot of cases we don't get that. We don't get the like...
the full-blown
what is he doing while this is all happening, and you get to see this and it's just like, oh my god,
the lack of humanity.
It's something about that just like threw me for a fucking loop.
Those are your children.
Yeah,
those are your children.
Yeah. And the discovery showed that Nicole Kessinger also spent 4 hours searching the internet for Chris Watts, Shanann's disappearance, and things like it. but she deleted it.
Okay.
She also searched, and again, this is all in there.
Yeah.
She also searched, can cops find deleted text messages?
Yes.
How long do phone companies keep text messages? And then she deleted all of that.
Girl.
No.
I'm sorry. The people that think that when you delete something from the internet, that it's just, where do you think it goes?
That's it. I'm like,
bitch?
you don't think they can recover
that's
anything?
such simple thinking.
It really is.
I know that, like, because of what we do, like, we're so much more privy to that kind of information. But, like, I think even when I was a teenager, I didn't, like, get into crazy shit because I was, like, because I'm normal, but also, like,
because I'm normal.
I know that everything can be tracked.
I just don't get the... And also, it's just like, and it looks suspicious.
Right.
No matter what. Even if you have nothing to do with anything, just don't do that. It just doesn't look good.
No.
So an officer arrived at the Watts house a little after 1:30 p.m. And with Chris's permission, he entered the house. As Nikki Atkinson had said, there was no sign of Shanann and the girls. More concerning was that while Shanann herself was missing, her car, phone, and wallet were all still inside the house. And her suitcase was still by the front door. Nothing else in the house appeared to have been disturbed. There was no sign of break-in because he had killed them. Upstairs in Chris and Shanann's bedroom, they found her wedding ring on the bedside table.
Which I think he planted.
It makes sense. Now, to be clear, he let them in, but first he went through the garage and made them wait for several minutes before letting them in.
Yeah.
So, now, their neighbor, Nathaniel Trina Stitch, who I will refer to as Nate,
homie of the century.
Another hero here. There's so many people that really came
through
to really push this thing way farther, way quicker than it probably would have if they had not been. Honestly, like it takes a lot of like chutzpah to like stick your neck out.
Yeah,
and these people
in
stuck
an investigation when like you're literally
impressive.
in the room with cops.
Yeah, it's like very impressive
because that can be intimidating.
Because that's hard.
Yeah,
and I'm glad that these people did. So Nate, the Watts' neighbor, called police inside of his home to show them security camera footage that had a great view of Watts' driveway, as well as the road in front of all the houses. Chris had no idea that there was a clear shot of his truck pulling in and out of the driveway that morning.
Wow.
And if you watch the body cam footage of him watching this, he is freaking the fuck out. I have never seen...
His hands are folded on top of his head and extended to the sides. Like
he can barely breathe.
Swaying back and forth.
He's losing his reaction is so guilty. You can tell in this moment that he said, I'm caught. He's got it's wild. Like, and then every now and then he'll just stop watching the footage and look at his phone. I have a question. Because I asked John this and he was like, are you fucking kidding me? If I was missing and our children were missing, and our neighbor said, I have security camera footage of the whole outside of your house of the time that she has been gone.
Glued to it.
You would be looking at every fucking pixel on there, hoping to see something.
Yup.
You would be glued to it.
Yup.
He barely looks at it. He keeps looking away. He keeps looking at his phone. Aren't you waiting to see if someone came and stole your whole family?
No, because he knows that nobody did.
You would never look away from that.
You can find this video, by the way. And
you can.
Go watch this video.
We'll see if we can post one of them.
But I think Drew and I were talking about it because Drew's not even super into true crime, but he remembers this case. And he was like, I remember that being like one of the craziest breaks in this case.
Oh, yeah. I showed John. He was shocked. He's losing it. His eyes are bugging. He's swallowing hard. His voice is shaking. And he tells the cops several times that he had been bringing tools out to his truck a lot. And Nate is watching this fucker and also contradicting everything he said. Like, Nate is not afraid to be like, no, you didn't.
True.
So when the detective rolls up, Nate has already checked the footage to see if Shanann left the house during the time period she's been missing, or if someone else showed up and left with her.
Nope.
And he tells the detective right away, no one is caught on that camera. And he says, I would have caught it. One of the people in the house says that they only have Chris pulling right up to his garage. And they're like, why did you pull right up to the garage?
And
like,
they said he never does that.
And he immediately gets defensive and is still trying to say he just has so many tools that he was loading. So many tools. Loading. Just tools all over the place. Did I mention tools and loading them into my truck? Because I did that. I do that. It's my thing. Like, he literally mentions these tools and loading them 100 times. And he's also looking at his phone, but you can see he's doing that thing that you do to not have to look anyone in the eyes. Like it's why, like where you're just like pretending to be on your phone. Mm-hmm. Like you can see while he's beeping and booping that it's the move you make when you're uncomfortable in public.
Yep.
And you just want to like look busy.
Yep.
So you just kind of like open and close apps on your phone and don't actually do anything. Mm-hmm. He's doing that. We've all done it, but we haven't all been doing that to cover the fact that our neighbor just cracked the case of us annihilating our entire family 6 hours earlier. No. He's a fucking idiot.
You know that feeling when you come home late from work and those puppy dog eyes just pierce right through your soul? Or when you're packing for a trip and your cat refuses to leave your suitcase? Yeah, we've all been there. Pet parent guilt is real. And you know what? It's completely normal. That's exactly why Hill's Pet Nutrition exists. They understand that being a pet parent means being human, with all of our imperfections and daily juggling acts. Hill's science-led nutrition helps you give more love than humanly possible. Whether it's those long work days or trying to balance attention between multiple pets, Hill's Pet Nutrition gets it. They've created science-based nutrition that supports your pet's lifelong health, so you can feel confident even when life gets hectic. Because you're only human, there's Hill's. Science does more. Ready to let go of the guilt? Find the right food at hillspet.com/podcast. That's hillspet.com/podcast. This is a paid ad by BetterHelp. I happen to be somebody that struggles with people pleasing. So a lot of times I will build things up and up and up and up and up and then kind of get to the point where I'm like, I need to let this out to this person. Even in 2026, that stigma and just stigma in general can get in the way of a lot of things, like getting support for your mental health. Maybe you've encouraged friends to consider therapy while avoiding taking that first step yourself because you're busy. You're worried about what other people might think, or telling yourself that you should handle this all alone. But therapy with BetterHelp, the world's largest online therapy platform, can be a space to slow down and talk through what's been building before it feels unmanageable. Just take a short questionnaire to identify your needs and preferences, and BetterHelp will handle the initial therapist matching work for you. Their industry-leading match rate means BetterHelp typically gets it right the first time. Feel confident knowing BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully qualified. Don't let hesitation hold you back. Find support with BetterHelp. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/morbid. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/morbid.
WeatherTech is made right here in America, and it's perfect for an American-made summer. Because we cannonball into summer, hike all over it, slide down it, camp in it. It's one ice cream-covered, sandy, soaking wet mess of a season. Which is why WeatherTech floor liners and seat protectors are a must. We are road-tripping, beach-going, lake-jumping Americans, and that's just how we summer. WeatherTech, made in America for an American-made summer. Visit WeatherTech.com today.
During this, Nate absolutely destroys Chris's nervous system further by explaining that his camera actually picks up anyone coming down the street from any direction. So if someone left or if someone came, they would have got it on camera, and then he just clicks it back on and says, "And this is him at 5:17. While this happens, did you think Chris would miss another opportunity to mention him loading tools?
No.
Don't worry, he's still talking about loading tools. The problem here is that he isn't looking at the footage. He won't look at the footage.
So he wouldn't know what he was doing.
I would be crouched down, just staring at this footage, trying to find something. Nate just keeps reiterating that if he would have seen someone on this tape, if there was any action at this house. And he even shows them the previous night where it caught cars coming from each direction. Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, and look at this day 3 days ago where it caught somebody coming from this direction. He's not
like, this security
up.
system doesn't quit.
Yeah, he
much
said,
like myself.
He said, hell yeah. He said, this fucker is weird. Yeah. And you should be seeing this.
So they see him loading Shanann and the children into the car.
So that's the problem. What he did was he backed up into his driveway, he opened the garage, and he backed up so the bed of the truck is in the garage.
So he put Shanann there.
He put Shanann in the bed of the truck, and then he brought the girls into the truck.
So does the footage show him putting the kids in the truck at like a weird time?
You can't see it because it's like on the other side of it. So you see him going in there, and you can see that he's doing something. Now at this point, the detective is speaking to his radio, like talking to another detective, and Chris is like, "Do they need me next door? Should I leave? Should I go? Should I get out of here? Away from this?
Get the fuck out of there."
And the cop is like, "No." But he just wants to get the fuck up out of there so badly. He's so upset. At this point, he is like cracking. And then something incredible happens.
No, this is next level.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that some force is not at work here.
Like,
you cannot tell me.
This is incredible. Right next to Chris, as he looks away, the screen changes. It's an American Horror Story commercial. Mm-hmm. It's a commercial showing a fetus in a womb. Chris looks over right as it appears, and he stares at it for a second. And then he looks up at the cop, and he has a look. He looks like he's about to puke.
Yep.
And he says, she was pregnant too. Like, it like made him confess that. And he says that and as he says that, the screen next to him changes to an explosion, like a mushroom cloud, which is so weird for that to happen. And then a skull being covered by oil.
What are the odds of that?
What are the odds that those two images were next to each other?
And that's just like a lapse in Nate showing the security camera footage.
That's just him like clicking back out of it and into it again.
By happenstance, that commercial was playing.
Yeah.
That's not happenstance. That is some fucking universal shit at work.
And when Chris turns his entire body away from the TV at this point, it's wild. He's sweating. Mm-hmm. He honestly sounds out of breath and like his voice is trembling all of a sudden. He was affected by it.
How could you not be?
It was unbelievable. But
also, I'm sorry, for him to go, and she's pregnant as well.
Yeah.
You didn't mention that at the top of the fucking day when she got reported missing?
Yeah.
Why is that just coming up? Mm-hmm. Hello?
Now, when Chris does, well, he didn't report her missing, so.
But like we're this far into this where the neighbor's like, oh, I have security camera footage and you still haven't told the cops that your wife missing is pregnant?
He doesn't care.
That's just bonkers. Yeah. Like, be better at
He doesn't give
sucking.
a shit. Oh,
He's
you could
so
say
bad.
be better at a lot of things. He sucks at all of this.
It's nuts.
When Chris does leave, finally, when fate shines upon him and lets him out of that house, Nate he literally watches him leave, waits for the door to shut, looks right at the detective and says, he's not acting right.
He's not.
He points out the inconsistencies, the lack of video showing anyone coming or going besides him, the fact that he never loads tools in and out of his garage, and points out his body language, how he didn't look worried, he kept over-explaining the loading tools into the truck thing, and the fact that according to Nate, quote, he's normally quiet, real subdued. He's over here telling you 3 times what he took out and what he did, what he did, what he did. He never talks. So the fact that he's over here blabbing his mouth makes me kind of suspicious. His neighbor literally gave that detective a fucking gift because he hammered him in front of that detective and made it so much easier to see what was going on here. He also says that they were clearly having problems when Shanann left for vacation for 5 weeks. And he said him and his wife were actually worried that something had happened to her during those 5 weeks. That's telling.
It is.
It's unbelievable footage, to be honest. It's truly unbelievable, the entire thing. What's important, though, is how Shanann's friends fucking did the damn thing. Her neighbors, her friends, like Nate.
Everybody.
They didn't let up. They put pressure on him. And within like 6 hours of him killing his entire family, he was having to answer for it already. He had no time to formulate a fake story or try to cover something up like he thought he would have. He was finding himself with his feet held firmly to the fire right away. He was fucking up. That night, he FaceTimed his mistress.
Hello?
According to the discovery, she said he was sitting on a bare mattress when he did. And she asked where the sheets were, and he was all cagey and said he just wanted to wash them.
Why would you want to wash the sheets when your wife went missing from that house and your children did, allegedly?
Which, by the way, he murdered Shanann in their bed.
Yep.
So she said he was quiet and that he just kind of stared at her during the call.
He loves to just
He's such a fucking lech. Like, he's such a weird, creepy fuck. Also, remember, his whole family is missing, quote unquote, and he's FaceTiming his mistress.
In his room.
Like, that would give me pause.
Excuse me, in him and his wife's room.
Like, that would give me a lot of pause. Now, according to Discovery documents as well, on August 13th, Nicole, his mistress, found out through the media that his wife was pregnant. She did not know before.
Oh, so she found out that day that Shanann went missing.
And she confronted him about it, and his response was to ask, does this ruin our relationship?
The fact that your missing wife and 2 children and unborn child are missing?
No, he was just concerned with.
Also, Shanann was only, I believe, like
15 weeks.
Yeah, 15 weeks. So, like do the math there, babe.
Like,
he had a relationship with both of you.
And also, it's just like, you're saying Shanann is all about appearances? All you gave a shit with her friends about was, don't think I'm a bad guy.
Yeah.
Don't think I'm a bad guy. And now to Nicole, your mistress, you're saying, like, does this ruin everything? I don't want it to ruin everything.
You still want to pursue somebody while your whole family and children are missing?
And Nicole even said, like, Kessinger even said that at this time, he did not seem concerned for his family and instead was solely focused on their relationship.
That had to have been scary.
Yeah, and I think it was for her. Also, there was some talk about, like, should I pawn her wedding ring? That was going on during this time. I don't know exactly what was said, so I won't pretend I do. But there was, like, some talk of that.
Why would you pawn her wedding ring?
Exactly.
If she's just missing.
On August 14th, the next day, he gave what is quite possibly the most damning and guilty interview with a Denver ABC affiliate station that I have ever or will ever see in my life.
We were pausing at certain parts, like, just like to move on to the next thing. And if you pause, he will be full blown smiling ear to ear at certain points.
I have watched this video like 100 times at this point. And then I watched this, there's this
body language
clinical
expert.
Psychologist and body language expert, Dr. G. He's on TikTok and on YouTube, I think. We'll link him because I think he's fascinating. He's really good at, like, analyzing these things because he doesn't go overboard, and he'll say, like, hey, don't pay attention to this thing. This isn't really telling kind of thing. So I watched it a bunch, then I watched a video with him to go through it. And what I saw was Chris Watts is fucking dead-eyed in this. Like, dead-eyed to the point where you're like, is this a condition? Like, what's going on? Why do you have nothing behind there?
But
no affect.
Smiling
no
all
affect.
the time.
Oh, we're going to get to that. No affect at all, though. No affect. Just dead. Monotone. Can't even come up with an emotion. There are several things that I noticed here. So one, he swallows hard several times. Big gulping swallows.
Huge gulps.
Noticeably. He's pursing his lips and gritting his teeth, which he does during the video with Nate as well. Whenever Nate will point something out, he grits his teeth. That seems to be one of his tells. When he mentions Cece or Bella, he closes his eyes every single time. And what Dr. G, when I watched him, said about that particular thing, because I was wondering what that meant, he said that this could be that what happened, because he particularly does it when he says Bella.
Yeah.
And he said this could be that, he said, I feel like something particularly heinous happened there that he's trying to block out of his head or just doesn't want to watch again or knows it was particularly bad. And when we get into the details, I'm not going to go into, like, super details because, to be honest, my psyche can't handle it. But I know them now and I'll work through that. But he is correct that there was extra stuff with Bella that I assume, I mean, he's not a real person, so I don't know what, if that's just, to me, that blink, that slow close of his eyes is more what I analyze it as, is like, that's your child. So biologically, there has to be something that zings a little with your child. Maybe. I'm not a psychopath, so I don't know if they have that. But, like, I imagine there has to be some kind of primitive biological evolutionary connection to your child that, like, something that awful, your body would just kind of, like, without even an emotion attached to it, just, like, save yourself
that
from
it's it's a body response.
Yeah, I think it's not a heart or soul response. I think it's a bodily physiological response that, like, comes from fucking when we were sludged
just,
on
like,
the earth.
involuntary.
That's like, your brain is like, oh shit, my job is to protect you from that, so I'm gonna close your eyes. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's that clinical.
It's just like how your body keeps breathing, even, like,
I don't think it's that.
Yeah.
He has a feeling about it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he cares. I don't think that it hurts him. I think he just has a primitive, like, yeah, that was really bad. You know, like, and so he closes his eyes because he does it every time. It's very noticeable and very consistent. He's swaying, he's hugging himself, which could, and when I watched the Dr. G video, he also said this. That's like a self-soothing thing and also like a nervous thing.
So even if she was actually missing, he might have done the same thing.
Yeah, like, I would probably do that too, I guess. I don't know. But then he smiles.
A lot.
A lot.
He cannot, it seems involuntary. He can't fucking help it.
Well, and it starts when the interviewer when he tells the interviewer that he hopes Shanann and the kids are safe. That's when he starts smiling, because he knows they're not. And there's something called duper's delight.
I find this so fascinating, so horrible, but so fascinating.
So basically what duper's delight is, and this has been connected to him a lot, is that like somebody who lies and, you know, manipulates will feel like a smugness and like some kind of delight, like a happiness when they are deceiving someone.
Or they think they are, at the least.
And when they're getting away with it, which he is right now.
Yeah.
So that's genuine. And it manifests as this little like smirk or like grin that he gets. He gets it often in this interview. It's not, and I'm glad that like, because when I was watching it, I was like, listen, I will smile in weird situations because I get nervous and I'm socially awkward.
But now when your 3 children are missing in your life.
This isn't just simply not one of the, I will tell you, sure, don't judge people's responses to certain things. 100% judge this, because I was saying this earlier, my body wouldn't be able to form a smile if my children were actually missing and my husband was missing. I would be in such severe grief and turmoil that my body would forget how to smile. 100%. I would never be able to have a smile again. Yep. I just wouldn't. Especially not hours after it happened when we don't know what's going on with them.
He also just like looks like he's acting insane, obviously, but he looks put together. He does not look disheveled.
He's casual.
He doesn't look like he's been crying. He's not crying.
Yep. When he says, if they're safe now, they're going to come back, he knows they aren't. So that's a way of him not lying. He's saying if they're safe, then they're going to come back.
But they're not.
Because
he killed them.
So I don't have to lie here. So this is comforting. And he looks comforted. He's like, like very smug.
Yeah, like smirk.
Like he almost got away with something there. Mm-hmm. And he says it a couple of times. And as the interview goes and he talks about the empty house and how he hates it, he smiles more and more. That empty house made him so happy.
Yeah.
When the interviewer says he's going to ask some tough questions, he purses his lips. And according to Dr. G, that's to literally hold things in. Or it's because he knows he's got to keep his mouth shut. Mm-hmm. It's a response that we have when we know we have to keep quiet about something. So it's like literally actively. Physically keep it in. And he also had one thing he misses about them, is what he said.
This is nuts.
He was like, yeah, I just, I miss. And it's what he misses about them since they've been gone is telling them they can't have a treat if they don't finish their dinner. That's the memory you chose?
Of all the memories that you've created over the 3 and 4 years that they've been alive?
The one memory you could come up with was I miss telling them they can't have dessert.
And them snuggling on their own couch watching TV.
By themselves watching TV.
Not even like being snuggled up with them on our couch watching TV together.
Literally, my first thought I'm like, you don't miss cuddling them. You don't miss holding them. You don't miss their smell. You don't miss the sound of their voice. You don't miss tucking them into bed.
You miss shoving them in front of a TV on their own designated area.
And not having anything to do with them and just putting on bubble guppies.
And telling them that they won't have a treat if they don't finish dinner.
Like what that alone is like, what?
Diabolical.
You don't have any other... I'm like, yeah,
He didn't Google what people would miss about their children beforehand.
Literally. And that's not even a joke. That's like real.
No, I'm being dead serious.
Like I genuinely think he would have Googled it if he thought he could get away with it.
Just like he Googled... What does it feel like when someone says they love you?
The more he talks about no one being in the house the night before, the more he smiles. Like he's like, I didn't put on their rain machine and I didn't turn on their monitor and I didn't put them into bed. The more he says, the more he smiles. And Dr. G pointed out that this is as he lists the responsibilities associated with having children.
That he no longer has.
He smiles more because he doesn't have them now.
So fucked.
And he full out laughs. At one point.
It's not even like a huh. It's a
No, he literally says, I just want them back. And the most genuine smile crosses right into his eyes. For the first time, he has life in his eyes. Mm-hmm. He laughs. He literally goes, I just want them back.
If you pause it too, he is grinning from ear to ear. We were watching it with Debbie and she was like, I would think that this is somebody being interviewed about like their child making the honor roll.
Like an accomplishment.
Or like a sports win.
Yeah,
like
being so proud of them.
What?
It is one of the most chilling. And at one point, he's blinking overtime. When they ask him, if he was searching, like if he was out searching.
Which you would be doing.
He starts saying, no, the police told me I shouldn't because I wouldn't even know what I was looking for. And he starts blinking. And he wasn't doing this before.
Because they didn't say that.
And he starts blinking like crazy. And then the cameraman does the fucking Lord's work and zooms right in on his face as he is blinking like a crazy person. Mm-hmm. And he continues to blink as they ask about, like, did the neighbors go? Did they go door to door? Like, what happened? He keeps blinking while he's saying no and blah, blah, blah. Like, he just starts losing it. Like, he's losing it. And he's trying to act like he's crying, but there's absolutely no tears.
There's no moisture.
And he only tries that once. He tries to pretend, like, as he's saying that, I think it's during, like, I didn't turn on the rain machine and blah, blah, blah. He tries to act, like, make his voice sound like it's about to cry, but then he starts smiling. So I think he just abandons that. And I remember seeing this interview on the news in 2018, standing in my living room, and I looked right at John and I said, he did it.
Yeah.
And I remember John had just walked in the room. He hadn't seen the interview. And I was like, this guy did it. And he was like, what is this? And I told him what it was. And he was like, that's horrific. Like, what do you mean?
Like, you can't accuse
that he
this man
killed
of
his
that.
pregnant wife and his 2 babies? Like, what?
But he did.
And I was like, he did it. Like, I remember vividly. I said it to you. I was literally like, this guy killed his entire family. It was the most obvious interview you have ever seen.
Right. Because I'm sure probably once you showed John the full thing, he was like, oh, yeah.
Oh, showing it to him, I showed it to him last night because I was like, this is the interview I was talking about. And he was like, oh, fuck. Like, he was just like, what the fuck? And yeah. So that interview happened the very next day. And I'm so glad he did that interview. And he had actually said to Sandy, Shanann's mom, there's an interview with her where she says she had actually advised him not to do any interviews.
Yep.
Because she said, you're the last person who saw them. I just don't think you should give any interviews right now. I think you should be talking to investigators, and that's it.
Which, wild that, like that shows who she is, that even she was trying to, like, help him out there.
Yeah, because he obviously didn't listen, and she said about that particular interview, she said, I thank God he didn't listen to me.
Every single day
she said, I thank God
that might make me believe in God.
Yeah, because she was like, that was perfect.
Yep.
Like, thank you for doing that.
Yup.
And so that's how her mom was handling it. And then his mom, in the interview that came out later with her, said that at this point, his mom believed that Shanann had just taken the girls and left. She didn't think that they were actually missing. We are going to get into what happens next, which happens pretty quick, thanks to everybody being so fast and everybody pressing on him, everyone not giving him a second to formulate a coherent story or cover story. It's honestly, when you see, because his coworkers started to turning and basically being like, people around him were being like, oh, I think he was having an affair, by the way. And like, hey, you should know this, and hey, you should know that. Meanwhile, her people, like her crew, were all like rallying to find her, rallying to get everything done. Like, the difference in the people that he had versus the people she did,
because it
shows you
like
who they were.
He didn't have a lot of friends.
Yeah, he didn't.
She did.
He didn't. And the people that were around him, a lot of them were like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
So what we are going to do is part 2. We'll be going right into when he is taken in and has to take a polygraph. And that is when everything unravels. And when the real story comes out. And we will talk about that. And then we will get into the paranormal aspects, some of the weird aspects of the end of this case.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that.
All right, brothers. Oh, let me get a fun fact.
A really fun fact.
I have to get the funnest fact.
Because this is destroying my psyche.
Nutmeg is technically a hallucinogen.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. This is from Cosmopolitan. It says the spice contains mistristin, a natural compound that has mind-altering effects if ingested in large doses.
Damn.
So it's a good thing that when we were all doing the cinnamon challenge, we didn't do the nutmeg challenge.
Holy shit, I did not do the cinnamon challenge.
I didn't do it willingly.
You didn't do it willingly?
No, my friend...
What does that mean?
I didn't know that you couldn't swallow cinnamon. Why would I know that?
Yeah.
I was like 14.
I was going to say you were young.
I was young. So I tried and I choked and almost died. And then,
yeah, that can literally kill you.
Yeah, it almost killed me.
Don't do those stupid fucking challenges, everybody, because most of them can kill you. Everyone's just lucky that they didn't die.
Exactly.
People did die, I think, with that one.
Of the cinnamon challenge?
Yeah,
really?
I think that actually like hurt people.
Okay, that's not a fun fact, but the fact that nutmeg is a hallucinogen is a fun fact. Or can be a hallucinogen.
I'll take that one as the fun fact.
I put nutmeg in a lot of stuff, especially in the fall.
Oh, in the fall?
I better be careful.
I'm tripping in here,
maybe
apparently.
That's why we're all tripping.
Yeah,
we
that's
love
why we love the fall
so
so much.
Fuck.
Everyone's like, woo! Yeah, I like that.
Period. All right.
Hell yeah.
Well, we love you guys. We hope you keep listening.
And we hope you
keep
it
weird. You better not have me tell you not to keep it as weird as Chris motherfucking stupid ass Cars Watts.
But I'm telling you,
don't keep it that weird.
Go look at the Discovery documents. They're fascinating and horrifying.
Keep it that weird.
Yeah.
Bye, dolls.
Bye.
Everyone knows winter is the real mess maker. You don't need WeatherTech floor liners for summer, unless you hit the beach and half the beach ends up back in your car, or the campsite dirt ends up in your trunk. Then you'd want a cargo liner. Or a road trip goes sideways, lemonade spills, ketchup goes rogue, ice cream drips. Yeah, you'd be pretty happy about those WeatherTech seat protectors. So just to be clear as the mud you're inevitably going to step in this summer, you don't need WeatherTech. Unless you plan on doing summer. Visit WeatherTech.com today.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie, and one thing I've learned is that you buy a house, but you make it a home. Because with every fix, update, and renovation, it becomes a little more your own. So you need all your jobs done well. For nearly 30 years, Angie has helped millions of homeowners hire skilled pros for the projects that matter. From plumbing to electrical, roof repair to deck upgrades. So leave it to the pros who will get your jobs done well.
Angie, the one you trust to find the ones you trust. Find a pro for your project at Angie.com.